Mic check, mic check. This is a mic check for the Hobbs Eagles game against the Centennial Hawks, where they're going to be coming in at 0-0, their first game of the season. Meanwhile, Hobbs has the record of 2-2 after their tournament from last week in Wolfforth, Texas. We talk about that more. As the game is on right now, you'll see that the JV are playing, the Hobbs JV are playing the Centennial JV. Right now, the score is Hobbs 58, Centennial 53. We'll be doing a mic check for myself on the other end in just a second. Once again, this is just a mic check. Mic check, mic check. This is a mic check. And this is once again on the Hobbs Eagles JV game we're on right now. Just made a score right there, made it 60-53. And my name is Ron. Going to be covering the Hobbs Centennial game live tonight, starting after 7 o'clock, depending on when this one ends. We're at 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the game. And it was a close one with Centennial in the lead, but Hobbs has managed to come back strong. And now they have a 9-point lead, 62-53, with 2:16 remaining. All right, we're going to be looking forward to seeing the first home game for the Hobbs Eagles. This is the first JV home game as well. And the crowd right here is still enjoying it because Hobbs has come back strong in the fourth quarter to get the lead. Once again, Ron Gunner here, going to be giving you, we're going to be probably going on, well, who knows exactly. We've got 2 minutes to go, so probably going to be going on about 30 minutes roughly, give or take. Of course, we have the pregame. We're going to talk all about this game before it happens. We're also going to be on Cool 95.7 as well as the internet on the Facebook page, Cool 95.7. We got HobbsAmerica.com cover for you, as well as YouTube under the Hobbs Sports channel. All right, catch you in just minutes right here. Hobbs Eagle action always exclusively on Cool 95.7, bringing you all the action live, as well as the sponsors that come behind that. That is Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, Innomar Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. We thank you. We appreciate your sponsorship. And without you guys, we would not be able to get this on the air.
Welcome, everyone, to Tasker Arena. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Hobbs Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty, Fred, Ron Gunner with you tonight. Evie Stuber back at the stations. Your Hobbs Eagles fresh off a 4-banger in Texas. They were at the Wolford tournament, the Gene Messer tourney, and with 4 teams that they had to play, all from Texas. And again, win 2 and lose 2. Didn't finish really in a place at the tournament, but still finished up on a good note with a 60-49 win over Brownfield, Texas, just down the road outside of Lubbock there. So kind of a couple of games kind of lackluster, but then they came back strong at the end there, basically because of rebounds. I mean, really crashing the boards hard, especially Turbiatis. He had, 14 or 15 or so rebounds in that game. Really doing a great job, and some good scoring from several different guys throughout the tournament, but not the best start. The first game they had to play the home team, and it was on purpose. Friendship was the host team, and they played the championship game later on that week, but still kind of a rough double-digit loss, and another loss at 2 on top of that, but still 2 wins, and now they're back to get the New Mexico squads into the action.
Yeah, the thing was, especially with Friendship already had 5 games under the belt, plus they have a really good winning team in Texas. Hobbs was coming in. This was their first official game. They had been playing before in Houston and other things, but they hadn't really actually had any good game experience. So that was their first one. They were a little tentative at first. They tried to keep up with Friendship, but they could not do that. They went throughout the tournament. I think what they did was they learned from their mistakes. They got better and better as the games went along. And I think in the final one, what the thing was is the coaches said, look, we can't play for you. We can tell you what to do, but, you are the one that's responsible for your defense, your offense, and everything else that goes on that court. So you got to make the decision. Do you want to play? Do you want to win? Or do you want to just go out there and just go through the motions? And that's when the team lit it up, especially in the second half. They came back strong. They were able to force the issue. They were able to get those fouls called for them instead of against them. And they came back strong against Brownfield and was able to win that one for their second win of the season. This is going to be an interesting one. The Hawks have not played this season yet. This is their very first one. They're hitting it on the road, and this will be the 5th game for Hobbs, and they're a little more experienced than they were at the beginning of the season. So I think it'll be interesting, plus the fact that we've got a winning streak against this Centennial team that goes all the way back to 2014 with the Hobbs High tournament. That was when the Hawks beat Hobbs in the championship by 1 point by a 3-pointer at the end of the game. And that was also the time when Hobbs had a 3-game losing streak going into the championships those last 3 years. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if the Hawks can come on strong, can hit the ground running like Hobbs did or try to, or if Hobbs is just going to run them over and this be a quick, nice game.
Well, if you look at the numbers from the tournament last week, the Gene Messer over there next to Lubbock, a couple of guys really stepping up big. Abraham Payne averaging 11 points in those 4 games, and Braylon Vega finishing up with just shy of 11 at 10.9. So those guys going neck and neck in terms of scoring. Of course, in that final game against Brownfield, it was a Braylon Vega with 23 points. He also converted on 4 3-pointers, and it's good to see the outside shot coming back for the Eagles this year. Good job of perimeter passing in some parts of those games last week and keep people open, especially in the corners. And that's where Vega thrives, Abraham Payne thrives, and definitely gets some good strokes going into the hole for Trace.
Yeah, and they definitely were thriving on a couple of games where, you definitely saw that they were hitting the corner shots with those threes. All they have to do now is just learn to drive the lane more, get some more rebounds like they were in the last couple of games that they got. They were getting better with the rebounds. Also, make sure that you don't do any little things like traveling. They did a lot of traveling throughout the games. They cleaned that up a lot, so that way they weren't turning the ball over. One and done's also another factor that they need to slow down on. Make sure you hit your shot, and if you don't, make sure there's somebody there that can rebound it. That's definitely a thing that they need to clean up the glass, be able to get back and get those second chance points. And if they can do that, they are definitely difficult to beat under this Tasker roof.
Eagles averaged 50 points at the Gene Messer tournament, but gave up 64 on the average, so 14-point differential there. That's got to be cleaned up a little bit. Free throw line, they were 66%, 74% for their opponents in those 4 games. Hobbs averaged 14 turnovers, their opponents at 12.5, so giving about a 1.5 more turnovers a ball game. And the rebound factor really came back better there in that last game against Brownfield. Hobbs averaging 24 a contest compared to 29 for their opponents, but that was a lot more lopsided before the Brownfield game. But let's admit it, though, Brownfield a lot shorter team than the Hobbs Eagles. But I'd really like to see that post situation we've got going on with the Eagles. Really good job in that last game against Brownfield. Of course, we mentioned Jairus Turbiatis didn't have a lot of points. He had 7, but he had the 14 rebounds. Malachi David coming off the bench for 11 points and 6 boards, so he was battling as a post player. The best news, though, Parker Henderson is back, did not play at the tournament. 6'11", 240 pounds. He's beefed up. He's got more physical. He doesn't move around as much, especially Jairus Turbiatis, but it'd be nice to see that other dimension in the paint.
Yeah, and I'm looking at him right now, showing him warming up. He isn't too slow after all, but yeah, it is going to be great to see his presence, see what he can do under the basket. Hopefully he won't be too intimidated as far as the other basketball team players. But you know what? I think he's going to do well. He's going to present himself under the basket, be able to get a nice at least 10 rebounds, I would imagine. And I'm sure he's going to be a very good defensive factor in this game.
Another guy that had a good game, I believe it was game 3, where he scored a big amount of points before the final game of the tourney. That was Beatty, Braddock Beatty, the sophomore, 19 points in one of the games at the tournament, averaged a good chunk because of that, and definitely was a guy that was getting open on the perimeter. But the last game he didn't do as hot against Brownfield, didn't have as much involvement in the offense as he did in that game 3, but definitely is a good kid that can score for you. He likes to hustle up and down the field. I was going to say field, I mean court, because he plays football too. Is also the kicker and also the brother of one of the quarterbacks for the Hobbs Eagle football team, but still good physicality. The question I have is, how they're going to go with the guard situation. McGahey was playing some time out there. They brought in some other people moving around. Braylon Vega, more of a shooting guard for the Eagles. Josiah Clay saw some action, but different people that we might be looking at in terms of the guard positions. That is not really solidified yet, in my opinion. We'll wait to see on that. And one guy that's been kind of quiet, he's been a starter, but Brian Acosta, not really a factor at this point. Does post up on the high post at the free throw line, but not really getting any shots much of these games so far. And just doesn't seem quite into it yet. Not saying he's not giving it effort, but I don't know what the deal is there, but I think he's going to start feeling it here at Tasker Arena tonight.
Yeah, definitely will be. And, it's always something going on. You can't have everybody playing on the right cylinders at the right time. But you know what? As the season progresses, you hope that will happen. Now, otherwise, I've seen a couple of players that have gotten kind of cold as far as offense, but defensively, they seem to be able to step it up, be able to make some differences, get the ball back over to the other side of the court, and make some interesting shots, or at least get some interesting openings for other players. You know how hard it is to get an assist. If you have more than one step, then it's not an assist. But otherwise, this Hobbs team is getting better and better. I think they're going to be tough to beat for this Centennial team that hasn't played one yet, and I think the coaches agree with me.
The Centennial last year under 500, 12-16, 5-5 in district. They were behind Oregon Mountain, Las Cruces, tied for third with Alamogordo with 5-5 records in the district. Hobbs beat them on the road in Las Cruces, 72-67. That was a major game for Michael Mackey, who of course graduated, 30 points. But Abraham Pena just behind him with 26 in that contest, and 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. So all the stats looking good for Pena in that one. Definitely somebody that was a threat there against Centennial. Turbiatis did play a little bit, didn't score, did have 7 rebounds though coming off the bench in limited action. Braylon Vega got a little playing time. Brian Acosta had a rebound and assist. So there were some good efforts there by kids, very young kids last year on the road for Hobbs. But they had 24 turnovers. The funny thing about it was 4 of the returners had half of those turnovers last year when we talk about some of the players I just mentioned. So that needs to be cleaned up. Centennial brings some guys back. Ozias Aguilar, he had 8 last year against the Eagles. Nate Cerna was 7. Makai Shude was 6. There are a couple of those guys are starters. And Brady Penault had 2. So not a lot of point production. A couple other guys did get some time on the court as well. So about 5 or 6 players did see court against the Hobbs Eagles. But Ozias Aguilar is the guy the Eagles got to be watching out for. He averaged 10 points last season, and he was their second leading scorer on the team. Makai Shude, he's another one they're going to have to watch out for. He definitely can put some points through the hole as well. So those 2 from last year. Cerna's another one that we have to watch out for. But again, like you said, it's kind of hard with not playing a game to have to come to Tasker Arena. We're getting ready for the starting lineups here, the national anthem. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Hobbs Eagle pregame show as Hobbs taking on Centennial, the battle of the Hawks and the Eagles. Come back with us in 90 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Task Arena. The Hobbs Eagle fight song being played by the Taskovich Band, their first home game of the season. Ron, it's going to be a long time before another home game. What about, I think, 10 games before they're actually getting, I think it's a Hobbs Holiday Tournament, maybe a game before that, before they're back here. Yeah,
it is going to seem like, I know we've done this before where we felt like we've been away at home more than because there's been a lot of games that have been away, but we love the fact that we get spoiled actually from the scoreboard here. I've been talking about that, and we're going to enjoy tonight being spoiled as well as watching the Hobbs Eagles go up against this team. Centennial Hawks had a record of 12-16 last season, 5-5 district, and we're expecting to see about the same as subpar. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen until the ball drops, and who is going to score and what's going to happen. That's the reason why we play these games.
Of course, your Hobbs Eagles will start Braylon Vega, Jose or Abraham Pena. Braddock Beatty has got himself a second start of the season. Brian Acosta and Jarius Turbiatis. He'll be the tallest kid on the court at 6'6". Brian Acosta at 6'5". Looks like the Eagles do have a little bit of a size advantage in this ball game. Makai Shute, we mentioned him already. He's going to be a starter at 6 foot. Also, Brady Rewalt at 5'10". Ozias Aguilar, one of their top scorers from last year, is also a starter at the guard position at 6 feet. Nate Martinez, one of the coach's sons, that'll be on the court as a starter. He's 5'11". And Trayson Huntsman, he'll be 6'2", and just a sophomore. So kind of a youth mentality out there for the Hawks to come in with an 0-0 record. Hobbs going to play with their white uniforms, black numbers, and gold trim. And it's going to be Centennial with the black numbers, black uniforms, gold numbers, and red trim. The battle of the birds, the Eagles and the Hawks here at Tasker Arena. As we're getting the starting lineups getting going here for the Eagles squad. Of course, this is just a home game here, but we got a lot of days before the next one. So, of course, we did start off the year with the tournament. Usually we wait a few weeks and then go to the Artesia tournament. That's not going to happen this year.
Right.
We will play up in Albuquerque that first week and a half into the month of January. Right. Hobbs will open up with West Mesa on a Tuesday night. It's a 7:15 game, which never happens to Hobbs. He's going to get all the early stuff. But they'll play, I think it's mostly night games the first couple days of that tournament, which is 4 days by the time it's all said and done at the Duke City. So that's a very big tournament. A lot of teams you play on different high school courts. But, again, that's added on top of the tournament we've already played in Gene Messer and now outside of Lubbock. You've got the Hobbs Holiday Tournament coming up into December, and then the Albuquerque Tournament 1st of January. A lot of travel for the Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, a lot of tournaments, which is great. The coaches here always want to feel that they're getting the best out of their players. That means they got to play the best, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're testing their skills, and I always love the fact that they never try to play like a smaller city or a smaller town and try to get that easy win. No. They go ahead and try for the big guys. They gun for them, and I think they enjoyed Albuquerque last year so much that I know that they want to go again and again. As long as they are invited, they're definitely going to enjoy it up there.
The Taskovich Band all excited about their first game as well. Pretty loud getting their things going here. As we've got the Hawks on the court first, the first Birds that check into this one. And the Hobbs Eagles, the big huddle now, they're going to break it. And it looks like Turbiatis is going to skip his way to the center circle. He will jump to get this one started. He's a couple inches taller than his opponent there inside the circle as he goes up against Trayson Huntsman, 6'2". We mentioned Turbiatis. He's going to be the big man at 6'6", 168 pounds. He doesn't have a lot of weight on him. That's the difference. 170, not horrible, but he is not the bulkiest center on the court. Parker Henderson, of course, going to be packing some here when he gets a chance, hopefully, to play tonight. The tip into the backcourt. He gets scooped on the arm of Turbiatis. Surprised that wasn't a violation that time as he kind of curled it down. But it's picked up for the Eagles by Pena. Underhands near side to Beatty and fumbles it out of bounds in front of the referee near the Taskovich Band on the near sideline. Already a turnover for the Eagles.
Couldn't handle the pass, and it just went right out of bounds. He was really near the line.
Definitely got to clean up the turnovers, averaging about 15 a game there at the Gene Messer tournament in Wolford. Coming across the timeline, a stop-and-go dribble for Martinez, one of the coach's sons. Lost the ball, picked up right corner to Shute. Bounce it back again to Martinez, right corner. Keep it right side to Aguilar in the perimeter. Gets a screen from Huntsman. Spins in the lane, gets White from behind. They're going to call the foul. And Pena tried to block the shot. He got the ball momentarily from behind, but they turn around and say he went down the arm. So that will be the first on Pena.
Yeah, and it looked like it was Aguilar who was trying to do way too much, spun around a couple of times, trying to get the basket in, but just never had his footing once he got started spinning.
So Aguilar will get 2 free throws out of this. Remember, 5 fouls for double bonus in each quarter. That goes to 0 at the end of the quarter. First free throw's a rip off the front of the rim, no good. He'll get one more. Again, Hobbs only winning by 5 last year on the road, 72-67, a pretty close game towards the end, but 56 combined points from Mackey, who graduated, and Pena on the court tonight. Second free throw up and good. Centennial with the first lead, 1-0. Him out of the near side, Pena in the backcourt, cross court left to Beatty. Beatty with against a 1-2-2 trap. Over to Payne in the front court, right wing, drives the lane, hippity hop, turns and fires the shot right in the middle of the paint and puts it through the hole. That's the way to get things started as the Hobbs Eagles started off with a 2-1 lead here. And now a long ball across half court, sails into the Hobbs Eagles student section, and looks like a Cruces kid, Centennial, head first over there. Rewalt trying to save it on a long pass, three-quarter court pass. Looks like it'll go off an Eagle. I don't know if that was Patey or maybe Patey that touched that one, but it will be their basketball, the Hawks. Right for the student section, not where you want to be with them screaming in the back of your head. Inbound top of the circle to Aguilar. Throws it back door, it's stowed away by Turbiatis. Turnover number 1 for the Hawks. Turbiatis comes down the lane, runs over his defender. They call the charge. So teams are getting turnovers left and right now. That'll be the second turnover for the Eagles and the first foul on Turbiatis' second team foul.
Aguilar had plenty of time to set his feet, be under the basket, and take that charge. And unfortunately, it was given. But, you know, that it's still early on. We can make a few of these mistakes, learn from them, and get back into the rhythm of the game.
Boy, Coach Reeves already going to his bench quickly to bring a sub in because of the foul. Malachi David will check in. He had a good game, too, against that last one of the tournament, Brownsfield, as he got 11 points and 5 rebounds. Him out of the near corner left. Bounce pass from Martinez, back deep to Aguilar, throws it across the timeline. Driving down the lane is Huntsman, reverse layup right, no good. And pulled down by Brian Acosta. He's getting spun around. Looks like he might have a jump ball here.
Definitely.
He had the first grab on us to give him the rebound on that one. It will be Hobbs basket. No, it's going to be Centennial basket. Now they have a couple of referees talking about it, so maybe there's something before the jump. 3 officials going to get together on this. We got a couple of Artesia refs tonight and one from Roswell. Wait to see what they're going to call here.
I think they're going to call, well, no, I thought they were going to call Hobbs because the arrow is going to the left, but.
It's going to be Centennial basketball. They're going to stick with the jump call there. And so Centennial will have it on the left baseline underneath their hoop near the Eagle bench. It's pushed off towards the back left. Hobbs getting man-to-man defense set up here. They're going to check it back deep to the right wing. It's pulled down by Rewalt near the far sideline. Stop and go dribble to the top of the arc, dribbling behind his back. Comes back to the right with an underhand pass. Pulled down by Chute. Chute bouncing up top to Aguilar, getting defended by Turbiatis, who just checked back in. Taking a screen from Huntsman, driving the lane. Huntsman gets it back, give it go, throws up a shot over the back of his head that time. Kind of a frog shot there. Got crouched way down, then flipped it back over the top of his head. They called the foul on the Eagles. Late call there as they waited for the extension of the arms. And see who they call that against. Isn't it nice to actually have the foulers on the scoreboard? We haven't seen that for about 4 games now.
Like I said, this scoreboard spoils us, but that was a nice pass the Hawks did. Inside the lane, just could not get the finish, ended up getting the foul in the end.
Brian Acosta picks up his first 13th foul, 3-0 count right now. First free throw is up and good. As putting it through the hole for the Hawks is Huntsman. They're 2 of 3 from the line, and we're tied at 2 apiece. One more shot here, and actually there's no shots yet for the Hawks because they've been fouled on quite a few of them, so they get a chance for free throws. They get free throw numbers, though. Huntsman gets them both. 3 for 4 on the line are the Hawks. They're up 3-2. Beatty gets the ball on the near side against a 2-1-2 trap. Cross court left to Pena. Return to Beatty across the timeline. Spins against double pressure. Returns to Pena. He'll back it out near this timeline again. Back to Beatty on the right wing. Takes a drive with his right hand. Fade shot from the right baseline off the front of the rim. No good. Ball loose on the base. There's a push underneath, and it looks like getting a hand on it first for the rebound was Rewald, and Hobbs must have get him in the back there as they're going to call the foul on the Eagles. They can ill afford that. That's their 14th foul already early in this first quarter. They charged Turbiatis with his second. You know, Coach Reeves took him out a few minutes ago. Should have left him on the bench a little bit because now he's in foul trouble.
Yeah, now he's back on the bench. You know, you try certain things, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Hobbs going with the 1-2-2 full court trap. A half court pass is complete, and then the ball handed off to Aguilar. Top of the circle, thought about a 3, but coming out on defense is Beatty. Backs it up to the timeline. Wrap around to the far right wing to Martinez. Cuts it down to the right block to Aguilar. Fadeaway J from 15 off the glass. Boy, he kissed that one high off the top of the backboard. Aguilar with 3 points. It's now 5-2, Centennial's biggest lead. Quickly in the front court, Pena. Over to the left side, holding it for a second, was Vega. Back to Pena at the timeline. Middle of the court, on top of the Eagle logo in the middle. He'll dribble up top. Throws a high post pass to Acosta, pivot on the right elbow, give it back to Pena on the right wing. Picking up some tight D for Martinez, up top to Vega for three. Off the left rim, it's no good. In transition off the dribble. It is Rewald, his second rebound. Eagles 1 of 2 in the shot game. He comes down the left side of the lane, gets his shot swatted from behind as Acosta rejects it to the baseline. And it will be Hawks basketball. The crowd reacts big to that one.
Yeah, that was actually Malachi David who was the one that swatted that one away. And yeah, you definitely don't want to give him any gimmies in this game.
Inbound back door to the right block. Shote is going to rotate, kick it out right wing to Walton. Fadeaway three and puts it through the hole. His first tray of the ball game. Hawks are 2 for 3 from the shot. That one a three-pointer, and they have their biggest lead at 8-2. Coach Reeves doesn't like what he's seeing out there. A timeout called. 5:25 remaining first quarter. Centennial up by 6, 8-2 over the Eagles. We'll be back with the Battle of the Birds in 30 seconds. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 8-2 here at Task Arena. First home game of the season. It'll be a drought till they have another one because they're going to be on the road quite a bit in the next few weeks. They trail by 6, though. Not the way you want to start with your home crowd, the 6-man here at Task Arena. But Centennial starting to get some shots, but also getting free throws out of it.
Yeah, they started off with 3 throws, and now they're getting the shots. 7-0 run is what the Hawks are on right now, and Hobbs needs to stop the bleeding now and get back into this game.
After the Eagle timeout, both teams have been trapping full court at this point. Hobbs will have it on the right baseline. Vega to inbound, deep. As he gets it into Pena, double team in the right corner deep. He throws it back to the baseline and gets knocked out. Vega jumped for it, but was punched out by the guard, Makai Shote, and Hobbs will get it back. They'll have to go the distance once again from the baseline. Vega has it, throws it up the near side to Acosta, back to Vega. They'll take a few dribbles, beats the pressure now in the front court. 3-on-2 down the lane, scoop shot right side and misses. Couldn't get it to drop, and the rebound pulled down for the Hawks. They'll quickly get it into the front court. 3 on the way for the pass in the left corner, and he nails one as well. That's Walton's second tray of the ball game. They continue to knock him down. 11-2, the biggest lead is 9 for Centennial. Interception at half court. It's taken away by Martinez down the lane. Back door to Shote over the top of the rim with the layup and scores. So Hobbs now having some issues with turnovers. They've got 4, 13-2, down by 11, their biggest deficit. Ball comes across the top line to Acosta, top of the circle. Over to David, right wing. Pivots, gives it back behind him to Pena for 3. It's right to the net. Abraham Pena knocks it down. Big time basket, needing it for the Eagles. He's got 5. Eagles 40%, and the long pass to the other end. Layup on the right side. Shote misses the layup right. David gets a piece of it, knocked out by the Hawks. It will be Hobbs basketball. 13-5, 8-point Centennial lead here. 4:29 left first quarter. Hobbs going to get some trap pressure. 1-2-2 now. Inbound to Pena near side. Back deep to Beatty. Return to Pena. Takes a few dribbles into double pressure. Uses up the dribble. High one over to his teammate Beatty. Overthrows him to the far left sideline. Out of bounds. 5 turnovers already for the Eagles.
There was no need for that high pass. There was nobody anywhere near him defending that pass. He just got a little anxious, tried to pass it to him as quickly as possible and got a little too much energy into that.
5-1. 5 turnovers for Hobbs. 1 for Centennial, who lead by 8. Ball comes across the sideline to Walton on the left side in the front court. Going to go against David. Crossover right, left, now down the lane. High arching layup. Going to call a charge. Ran right over the top of the Eagle waiting for him that time, and that was Braylon Vega. Out of control on the layup for Walton, his first. That'll be the second turnover for Centennial, and boy, Vega had about 10 seconds to wait for that charge.
I know, set up camp and was ready and willing to take that charge, and he certainly did. Hit the floor and came back strong.
That's just the first team foul for the Hawks. Vega gets a pass far side backcourt, cross court right to Beatty. Returns to Vega. Gets through 2 defenders, bounces it up top to Beatty. It was deflected. Over to the left wing to the new sub, Jordan Caceres. Returns to Vega, who wants to clear out on that left wing. Uses up his dribble, though. Finds David top of the circle. Fires a 3. Rainbow jumper off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound on the far right sideline. To bring it on is Martinez. Up top of the arc to Aguilar, drives the right side of the lane, double clutch, the runner over the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the Eagles is Caceres, he's in transition. Looking for help, bounce pass to Beatty, far left sideline, still in the backcourt. They call the reach foul from behind, as they'll get that one on Chote. That's Chote's first, second team foul against the Hawks. Eagles will have it in the backcourt, about halfway between the baseline and the half-court line. David will get a seat for a breather as returning his Turbiatis. He's got to be careful, Ron. He's got 2 fouls already.
Yeah, it's something that you never like to do is be careful, especially early in the game. You want to play as best you can without being hampered by fouls.
Actually, the scoreboard just has him for 1. I'll have to check and see if that's right. Vega in the front court. Takes his time, slings it around to the right side to Caceres on the perimeter. Gets a screen from Parker Henderson, who just checked in. He gets the ball. They get it back to him on the right block. Lost it off his hands. He said he was bumped into. No call from the official. It does roll out, but they're going to say last touched by the Hawks and Aguilar. Eagles will have it on the baseline right, facing the basket from up our vantage point. Beatty gets it in to Turbiatis, right block, kicks it out to Caceres for 3, and nothing but net. Jordan Caceres nails it. Eagles down with 2 trays of the ball game. And now it's 13-8, just down by 5. At the other end, though, a 3 on the way on the left side off the back of the iron. No good for Rewalt, and pulled down by Henderson, deep right corner for his first rebound as a varsity player this year. Did not play at the tournament last week in 4 games. He had a leg injury. Braylon Vega bringing it across after the pass to the left wing. Posting up Henderson left block. Bounce it back to Vega in the paint, but overthrows him. Taken away in the paint by Chote for the 6th Eagle turnover. Jump stop at the other end. Fadeaway jumper on the right block to the glass and scores. Nice little shot there, as that will be for Rewalt his first bucket. 15-8. 7-point Centennial lead with 2.5 remaining. Driving to the left corner, 15-footer, fadeaway, air ball for Vega. Ball loose on the baseline, a battle for it. Caceres going up high against Chote, but they're going to call it off of the Eagle. Actually, no, they're going to give it to the Eagles, off the Hawks. Get all my birds mixed up here.
That's all right, it happens. But yeah, definitely went off the Hawk for a rebound, or for a inbound. Last
bucket by was Chote, by the way, for the Hawks. He's got 4. Inbound to Vega, fade away the left corner, goes hard off the back of the rim. Actually, that was Pena. Big battle, 1-on-3 on the rebound underneath. And we got a jump ball. Beatty had 3 Hawks on his shoulders that time, putting their talons in his back. They called the jump, and it will be Hobbs basketball. As they bring Coach Martinez, going to get some guys on the court subbing. It'll be Keaton Petermeyer, one of his first actions on the court. Beatty gets it in right corner to Caceres for the Eagles. A spin move baseline, goes into the lane. One-hand bounce pass to Beatty. Fakes a pass up top. Shot instead from 15 left base. Off the side of the rim, no good. Pulled down for the Eagles by Turbiatis, his first rebound, and returns back to Pena on the right wing. Up top to Turbiatis, fakes a tray. Hippity hop down the lane. Reverse layup right, and scores off the glass. He got double teamed as he went through him right between the gap and goes through the hole as well. Count the basket and the foul.
Yeah, and you expect to see that from the Hobbs Eagles, as far as, you know, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to come back strong now. Now that they've seen that the Hawks mean business, they're going to come in and make a difference and force the issue, see if they get the fouls and or the shots.
So Aguilar's first foul, 3rd on the Hawks. Free throw for Turbiatis is up and good. He's got 3 points, 3 scores for the Eagles and 4 for Centennial. But a long pass the other end, missing a dunk. Turbiatis blocks it over the top and then tips out to Pena. Cradle and drive for a layup. He gets bodied from behind and knocked out of bounds at the other baseline, right in the hoop. Coach Martinez screaming at one of the officials in their face on the baseline. But a beautiful block by Turbiatis, as a kid for Centennial was trying to go up and dunk that time, and I believe that was Walton that went up high. He's about 6'3". What a block, and no foul call on that one. Good decision by the officials to pull out. That was a beautiful slap on the basketball.
Yeah, Hawks trying to catch Hobbs off guard. They caught me off guard, and definitely tried to catch Hobbs off guard. It didn't work.
First free throw for Pena is up and good. He makes the first out of 2. He'll get 1 more. Pena now with 6 points to lead the Eagles, 3 apiece for Caceres and Turbiatis.
And Hobbs is doing it on the foul line right now, getting those free throws.
As you say that, he misses the second off the front of the rim, pulled down underneath by Aguilar, his first rebound. 1:45 left in the first, 15-12. Stop and go dribble. The 2 10s are playing each other now. Caceres on defense. Head fake there for Aguilar down the left side of the lane. Fade shot for the baseline off the glass and scores. Aguilar leads his score, second leading score with 5 for the Hawks. 17-12, Centennial. Eagles in the front court, Pena near sideline. He's picked up by Chote. Up top to Turbiantis, fires up a pass in the lane to Henderson, but overthrows Henderson, the big kid, for the Eagles. Picked off for the Hawks. The Eagles, 7th turnover. Bad pass down the lane at the other end, taken away by Turbiantis. Finds Pena in the front court on the right wing. That's a third Hawks turnover. Goes backdoor to Henderson. They call him for a charge. He ran over his defender. Hobbs Eagle fans not liking it. That'll be a flattening of Rewalt that time. It went right onto the hardwood as Henderson gets his first personal, and that'll be the 15th foul. Not a shooting situation, although it will be double bonus the rest of the quarter for Centennial. And we got a 30-second timeout for the Hawks.
And that looked like they were both, neck and neck as far as being in the same spot. It's hard to believe that he had set his feet, but the referee disagrees, thought he set his feet at that point, and had a charge.
1:09 left first quarter, a 17-12 Centennial 5-point lead over the Eagles. Back in 30 seconds live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Hobbs trailing 17-12 to Centennial here at the first home game of the season here at Tasker Arena. Ty Fred, Ron Gunner, Evie Stuber back at the station. Hawks basketball after their timeout. Coming across the timeline is Aguilar, slowing it up, gets a screen up top from Walton. Uses it down the lane, lost his dribble though. Henderson gets a steal on him, 4th turnover for the Hawks. Up ahead to Pena, fakes a 3 on the left wing, drives the lane, spot shot from the middle of the paint, rolls in and out. Henderson misses the tap up, gets his own rebound, and goes up again off the right glass and scores. Second effort for Henderson, as he's got 2 points and a couple of rebounds, 17-14. 39 seconds left in the first. Hobbs down by 3. A hard pass down in the left corner. One-hander to Petermeyer. Kicks out left wing. Fadeaway 3 for Aguilar. No good. Pena gets a rebound, but he gets stripped and a foul on the near sideline. And reacting pretty loudly was Aguilar. You better be careful not to get a tech on that. He screamed at the official. His second personal. 14 foul against the Centennial. No, actually it's 5. Both teams are in the double bonus the rest of the 29 seconds of this quarter. That was the first rebound for Pena. And now they'll march to the other end as Pena gets another opportunity for free throws. He's 1 of 2 from the charity stripe and leads the team with 6 points. I mentioned at the tournament, the 4 games that the Eagles played in there at the Gene Messer tournament in Wolford, Texas, Hobbs was shooting 66% from the charity line. They were 36 of 54 against those 4 Texas opponents. So Pena averaging 11 points a game, leading the team on scoring, and now the free throw going through for him. Now with 7 points. He's a leading scorer for both teams at this point. 17-15, though. Eagles down by 2, and Battle of the Birds, a pretty close call here. It's back and forth.
It is, especially after a 12-0 run against these Eagles. They've come back strong and are about to make it a tight game.
Another switch there for Pena. He's 3 of 4 from the line, has 8 points, and now the Eagles are down by 1. Trap pressure, 2-on-2. Drive with a dribble now. Coming across the timeline is Walton to the far side right in front of the scores table. Guarded by Pena. Trying to get a screen up top. Finally gets one from Huntsman. Now he's going to fire up a 3 at the top of the arc and scores. Walton nails his 3rd tray of the game. He's got all 9 points in trays. 20-16. Eagles down by 4. Down to 6. Shot up top from Pena. The defense backed up. Bouncing around the rim and good. The shooter's touch there for Pena. That will run out the clock here in the first quarter. The Eagles are down by just 1 over with Centennial. 20-19 in favor of the Hawks. We'll be back in 60 seconds live on the Hobbs Eagle Network here at Tasker Arena. We've already started the second quarter, even though the Taskovich band is still playing. Centennial sails off a three-point shot off the left wing. It hits the rim and rolls out of bounds. No good for Rewalt, so we didn't even wait for the band to stop. On the first miss, the Eagles will get it back with 7:52 left in the second quarter. Hobbs has Payne with 11 on 2 trays. A tray apiece for Caceres and Turbiatas both with 3 points. Actually, Turbiatas 1 for 1 on the line with the bucket. And Henderson has 2. So 4 scores for the Eagles. And they will shoot a 3 at the other end. Vega nails a tray. Quickly, he throws one long, and that's his first bucket of the game. The Eagles down with 4 3-pointers in the contest. First score for Vega. 22-20, a 3 at the other end from the right wing off the back of the rim for Huntsman. Rebound by Turbiatas on the right block, his second. Top scorer for Centennial, Walton with 9, 5 for Aguilar. Right corner, 3 again for Vega. He's on fire. The youngster is going to take it in his own hands now. The sophomore has 2 trays, and the Eagles with 5 3-pointers at Tasker. Their biggest lead is 5 here on their home court. In the front court, top of the arc, jump stop for Martinez. Gets it off left wing to Walton. Walton will spin up top of the screen, gets a Huntsman screen from him. Fadeaway 3 at the top of the circle, NBA distance, and Huntsman nails it through. He's got 5 points now. That'll be 4 3-pointers for the Hawks. The Birds on both teams like the far shot so far at Tasker. Kokosta tries to set up Turbiatas in the paint, hits the bottom of the rim with the pass. It's taken away by Walton for the Eagles' 8th turnover. Walton at the free throw line, gives it off to Rewalt to the left corner to Walton. Walton will spin and then bring it out. One-hand Zinger pass right to Acosta at the free throw line for the turnover. He sends it ahead to Vega, 1-2 and up on the right glass. That was the 5th turnover for Centennial, and Vega on fire with 8-0 in this second quarter. Hobbs by 4. Stop and go dribble front court. Rewalt, fader shot from the left block off the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound for Turbiatas, his 3rd. Drives the lane, alley-oop backdoor, but overthrows Pena on the right side of the rim. Out of bounds to the Centennial bench. Good idea, but too much helium on that ball.
Exactly. I mean, it was perfect. They were trying it. He was definitely underneath the basket, ready for it. Just unfortunately, the basketball had different ideas. Wasn't quite on target, and that would have been a big crowd roar if that would have been an easy bucket.
Boy, a late call by the official, called a push-off foul after that, too, on Turbiatas. That's his 2nd. First team foul in the second quarter. I don't know where that came from. He must have just got mad at somebody and pushed after the shot was done. Hawks basketball in the front corner. The free throw line is Huntsman. Gives it up top to Rewalt. Excuse me, that's Walton. He'll fire up a 3 left off the shuffle. Ball comes off the iron, rolls to the left or right corner of the court, and gets knocked out of bounds. And they're going to call the push foul against Centennial. That's Huntsman's first team foul. And the referees are starting to really tighten this one up, Ron.
Yeah, well, Hobbs was willing to let it go out of bounds, so we're blocking it out. Hawks noticed that. They tried to get around him, but instead got into their body, and that was a foul call.
Eagles by 4, 27-23 with 5:50 left, second quarter. Cross-court passing for the Eagles. Now to half court to a new guy on the court, Nick Pena. He finds Pena, fakes a 3 on the right wing, drives to the hoop, double clutch with the hands off the glass. He got a gap there and went to the rack with it, as Pena now has 13 to lead both teams. Eagles have their biggest lead of 6 in this first half. Driving the baseline at the other end, left side Aguilar, scoops underneath, no good off the rim. Ball loose on the floor, bodies are falling everywhere. We got about 8 bodies on the floor, 3 standing up, make it 4, but everybody getting a part of the pile there. Wait to see if they call the jump. I guess it's got to be. No foul call yet. The arrow's going to go to Centennial. They're just trying to get everybody kind of pulled up off the floor, kind of like the Wile E. Coyote cartoons, getting squashed there on the hardwood. Everybody's body was rolling around.
In fact, Jose Pena hit the ground rather hard. I was hoping that he didn't get hurt. Doesn't look like he did.
6-point Eagle lead. Cross-court passing again, a 1-2-2 trap for Centennial. They get it across to Vega left wing, posting up Acosta left block. Alley-oop backdoor, and Turbiatas with a double clutch over the right side of the rim. He's got 5. Good pass from Acosta. 31-23, biggest lead now is 8 for the Eagles here in the second. Rewalt in the front court, right wing, thread the needle, back door to Walton, layup with double hands on the right side of the glass. He's got 11.
First points of the point in the paint for the Hawks.
31-25, Eagles by 6 again. In the front court, down the lane, a scoop shot off the front of the rim for Vega. Long rebound for Rewalt, his 3rd. Bad pass to the near sideline off the bouncer. It goes to the Hobbs Eagles Taskovich band out of bounds. Did Hobbs touch it? It looks like they did. Good hands for Vega in the passing lane. And now the officials are stopping action here. It looks like Coach Martinez calls a timeout. He wants to talk to his Hawks. We'll keep it right here and talk about some of our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle basketball. And Ron, these people are really helping out our programming in terms of games on the road, at home, at tournaments, and here at Tasker Arena.
Yeah, they're keeping us moving and grooving. And thank you very much to the following: Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, along with NMR Pipeline and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thank you very much, you guys, for supporting us. We appreciate it.
Here's the question a lot of people are asking this week. Were they happy about the Eagles playing at that prestigious tournament last week, or do you think they should have played a few more games somehow before, if that could have happened?
No, unfortunately, with the schedule the way it is, you got to take what you can get, and I do believe they did the right move by taking that one, and I think it definitely helped them expand their game, their knowledge of it in vast ways.
I think Coach Reeves also got a chance to see his personnel for the first time, and he had some youngsters on the squad and some guys that did get to play last year, sophomores and freshmen. And again, you just got to get some chemistry. So Hobbs up by 6, down by as many as 9 in the first quarter, but they've come back big. Rewalt now has it on the left wing, dribbling behind his back for the Hawks. On the left perimeter, guarded by Vega. One hands it back deep to Walton at the timeline. One hand bounce pass to Martinez right wing and keeps it same side to Aguilar. Turbiatis steps out, gets away from the screen, drives the lane. On the back pedal does Aguilar. Dumps it left block. Getting down low with the basketball is Martinez. They're going to say travel. Thought they were going to go with the 3-second call there, but he kind of shuffled his feet as he got between two defenders. Vega and Pena were down there low. That'll be Centennial's 6th turnover. And they still trail by 6 to the Eagles. New sub for Hobbs checking in. That's Josiah Clay. Pena's the guard now with the dribble coming across the timeline. Turbiatis, Acosta, and Vega still on the court. Pena now on the front side. Gives it to Clay on the left wing. He's going to take it hard to the left baseline and rebound. Double clutch. Another man comes over to help block his shot. That's Walton coming from the backside left of the lane and swatted that shot. Almost tied it up. It gets knocked out, though. It'll be Hobbs basketball, right baseline, underneath their hoop. Up by 6 with 4:03 left here in the half. Pena will take it back deep to Turbiatis. Fakes a 3. Kicks out right to Vega. One hands it back to Turbiatis. Spins on the right block. Fadeaway jumper off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound underneath by Chute. That's his 2nd. Tries to throw it up court. It's loose. Rolls out to the far right sideline to Walton. Saves it right to half court, though, in the hands of Vega. Turner number 7. Vega misses the lefty layup. Saved by Turbiatis, but he got shoved backwards as he tried to save it with his back to the baseline. Got knocked down, and I don't think they're going to call this a shot. I don't think so. He was trying to pass it back out to Vega. But Centennial having some trouble keeping a hold of the basketball.
Yeah, but Vega had to get around a defender. Could have been a charge otherwise. And when he did so, it kind of threw his rhythm off. Wasn't able to get the basket in. And unfortunately, Hobbs could have gotten an easy 2 for that one.
Centennial's really gotten off their rhythm as well. They've got 8 turnovers now, and they were way behind with those numbers until this is the last second quarter here that starting to get a little bit messy on offense. Inbound to Acosta, right elbow. Back to Clay. He's going to shoot up an 18-footer and puts it through the hole. Kind of came off the shoulder that time, but he had to go over the rim and put it through. Coming off the bench for his first bucket. 33-25. Eagles by 8, matching their biggest lead here in the second. In the front court, Ben Walton. Bounce pass it up top to Chute for the Hawks. To the left side and stops. Cross court right to Walton. Fires up an NBA 3, nothing but net. He's got 4 trays in this ball game and 14 points. 33-28, got to get a hand on the face, Ron.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. You need somebody up there to make a difference, make a presence, get that hand up.
Clay will have the ball at the right elbow. He'll fire up another J. This one in and out, no good. Rebound by Walton. His 2nd, ripped it down from the right block. He'll take the dribble across the timeline with the pass now to Rewalt. Zings it down to the left corner to Chute. Return up top to Rewalt. Over to right wing to Walton. Low look pass down to the right wing, and that's Martinez. Tries to bounce it down low to Rewalt on the right block. And the baseline officials got a push foul on the Eagles. As they're going to say, I believe Nick Pena might have pushed on somebody. Yep, that'll be his first. That'll be the 2nd team foul. Both teams have 2 fouls apiece here in this second quarter.
That's 2 substitutions for Hobbs coming in, 22 and 44.
So Turbiatis on the court once again, and Jose Pena intercepted by Turbiatis, top of the arc for the night turnover for Centennial. He goes to the rack at the other end with a scoop shot. They call the block foul. Boy, Coach Martinez screaming at officials every time he gets a chance there on the baseline. And that will be the foul against the Centennial Hawks. Rewalt's first, and that is the third team foul. And that thing about having coaches on the baseline, Ron, when it's coming at the action there, they have a chance to get right in your ear as a referee, and it's kind of a nerve-wracking situation to have a coach screaming at you, but you can tell them to back off just like you do on the sidelines if you have the benches over there.
Exactly. Plus, you think could possible injury going on, too, with all those bodies so close together.
Turbiatis will be on the line. He's 1 for 1, has 5 points. Eagles are 4 of 5 from the line. In and out, no good for Turbiatis. And then we got a hold foul.
Yes, indeed.
So they call that one on a rebound foul, and that'll be charged to the Eagles. So that will be the Josiah Clay with his first and the third team foul. 3 fouls apiece. Turbiatis with 5 points so far. Bounce pass in the front court for the Hawks in the right wing to Martinez, the coach's son, to the right elbow. To Rewalt. Back to the right wing to Walton. Waiting for a screen on that side from Huntsman. Stop and go dribble. Good defense brought on by Javen Hernandez, who just checked in. The crowd really liking it. Kickoff to Rewalt, right wing, in and out on the three-point shot. Turbiatis on the left block to get the rebound. His fourth. Remember, he had 14 against Brownfield. Up ahead to Vega coming down the lane. Back door, reverse layup underneath the hoop, left to right for Pena. Comes off the back of the rim, but it's last touched by the Hawks. Goes out of bounds on the baseline off the hands of Trayson Huntsman. 2:05 left, second quarter. Eagles by 5 over Centennial. Got a sub checking in for the Hawks. As back on the court will be Keaton Petermeyer. Got to make sure I got that last name said right. Inbounding will be Vega on the right base underneath the hoop. Finds Clay on the left wing. Backs it out in front of the scorer's table. Returns to Pena at the timeline right on the Eagle feathers. He'll slow it up with under 2 minutes left, second quarter. Screen up top from Turbiatis, down the lane. Pena leads and shoots with 2 hands on the right side of the glass and scores. Pena just slid through like butter that time. He's got 15. 35-28, Eagles by 7. In the front court, Petermeyer at the top of the arc. Bounce pass right wing to Walton. Good guard there by the defense, Javen Hernandez. Stop and go dribble, staying on that far right wing. Screen from Huntsman. Still with the basketball is Walton, who backs out. Gives it over to Walton on the right wing, or correction, that is Chute. He drives right base underneath the hoop, spins a 360, and the guy gets the hook shot in the paint, the little man. He's got 6. 35-30, swish that one through. In the front court, Pena with the crossover. Left wing, a double team against him. Back deep to Turbiatis, he almost got it stolen. Up top to Vega, swing right. 3 on the way for Clay off the back of the rim. Rolls up to the right corner and picked up by the Hawks for Walton's third rebound. Crossover move as he's going one-on-one against Hernandez now in the front court. 1 minute left in the half. Right wing, bobbles it off Hernandez's foot. Hernandez jumps on it on the floor. That's a 10th turnover for the Hawks. Up ahead to Turbiatis at the free throw line. Down low to Clay between 3 defenders. Gets fouled, going up, hammered hard, and he'll get a couple of free throws out of it. It's going to be hard to tell which guy's going to get the foul here. He got inside of about 3 trees that time, as he'll get the foul call against Huntsman, his second, and that will be the 14th foul against the Hawks. Josiah Clay will get his first opportunity for free throws. He does have 2 points. Eagles are 4 of 6 from the charity stripe at 63%.
Still not a whole lot of fouls on either side in this game as we are getting close to the end of this first half.
Should say 66% as he missed his first free throw there. Clay will get 1 more. Remember, all shots are 2 now. Now no one-on-ones left over. If you don't know about the new rules, you better get into them because there's a lot of weird stuff going on this year. Second free throw good for Clay. He's got 3 points, 36-30. Hobbs by 6 with 53 seconds left in the second. Big man on the court, Parker Henderson, 6'11", and he's coming back after a leg injury. It's going to take a few games for him to get back into full speed here.
But it does look like he's got a lot of mobility, no issues with his leg.
Inbound to the far sideline in the backcourt to Walton. He'll take on Hernandez with the crossover move. He wants a clear out as he brings it across the timeline. Of course, Hernandez just a sophomore. One-hand bounce pass to Chute on the right wing. Drives hard to the right side of the lane. High-arching layup. Bouncing off the front of the rim. No good. Picked up on the left block. Reverse layup underneath the hoop from left to right for Huntsman. That'll be 7 total for him and his first rebound. 36-32. Hobbs by 4 with 25 remaining in the second. Payne will slow it down in the front court on the far left sideline near the scorer's table. Gets a screen from Henderson, doesn't use it. Now he's going to stop, loses the basketball, picks it back up, gives it back to Henderson at the timeline, who hands off to Pena. 14 seconds, he'll fire up an NBA 3 and puts it through the hole. Pena nails his third tray of the game. He's got 18, 39-32. Coming across the timeline after a pass, Huntsman goes up, double clutching the buzzer down the right side of the lane, misses on the back of the rim, no good. So your Hobbs Eagles will hold on to a 7-point lead at the half over Centennial, 39-32. The Battle of the Birds will continue here at halftime in 3 minutes, live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Game number 5 of the Hobbs Eagles season. First home game for the Eagles as they lead Centennial here at Task Arena, 39-32, a 7-point lead. Battle of the Birds, Eagles and the Hawks going at it. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Evie Stuber with us tonight. And Ron, kind of a lackluster start for the Eagles. They're actually down at the end of the first, 20-19, a close score, but really a big turnaround of that second quarter. They outscored the Hawks 20-12, an 8-point differential, and now a 7-point lead.
Yeah, well, you know, when you start off with a 9-0 run and then you go up to 13-0, the Hawks were riding pretty hard and definitely making the right decisions, getting the Eagles off balance. There was a couple of times when it was across the court before Hobbs was even in defensive mode, so they caught him flat-footed. But Hobbs coming back strong late in that first, or actually midway through the first quarter, and being able to come back and get back into the game. They had a run of their own. It seems like this has been nothing but runs back and forth between the Hawks and the Eagles, and didn't expect so much of a threat against this Hawks team. But you know what? We also didn't know what they could do either, since this is their first game, and so far they're coming out strong. They made a few mistakes, as every team does. Hobbs has as well, but in the end, it looks like this is going to be a very close nip-and-tuck game for both sides.
Well, you said runs. We got to have to change that word because Hawks and Eagles don't run. So what are we going to say instead tonight?
I guess, well, I don't want to say sore either. That's been used to death. But, you know, they are definitely either they're flying high or they're flying low. So, you know, maybe that's what we should call it.
Okay, somebody needs to clip the feathers on defense, and they'll take care of things.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at the scoring in the first half for one of the Birds, the Hawks. Centennial has 14 with Ben Walton. That's a kid they got to put a hand in the face. He's got 4 3-pointers. He had 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. He's getting up high. He's getting the swish. He's getting the follow-through. And Hobbs, I'm sure, will be talking about him at halftime.
Definitely. That was one of the main keys, I'm sure, was just get a body on him and make a presence known. Do something. Disrupt his timing. You know, make him where he has to think about his shot. He has been wide open before, and he's just nailing those threes. And he seems to be getting further and further back. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get it from halfway or midcourt at this point, seeing as how nobody's on him.
Makai Shute has 6 points, 5 for Ozias Aguilar, and Trayson Huntsman has 7. Now, Trayson does have a 3-pointer, 2 for 2 free throw shooting. Ozias Aguilar, 1 for 2 on the line. Those are the only 2 guys, Aguilar and Huntsman, have shot free throws. They are 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, and it looks like all of their free throws were in the first quarter, going 75%. Hobbs has out-rebounded them 11-10. Their top boardmen, they've had 2 guys with 3 apiece, Rewalt and Walton at this point in time. 10 turnovers also for this Centennial squad, which is 1 more than the Eagles. And that's the numbers for Centennial in the first half, although they did have an 11-point lead in this ball game but squandered it as Hobbs got themselves back into shooting touch. So far in the first half, they have 4 scores for the Hawks' cause. The Hobbs Eagles have a double-digit already. That's Abraham Pena with 18 points. He has converted on 3 3-pointers so far and is 3 of 4 from the line for 75%. All those free throws coming in the first quarter. So definitely a big night for Abraham Pena. He's only averaging so far 11 points a game, and he's already 7 over that in this contest in just 1 half of play. Braylon Vega, he's got a couple of trays to his name coming in the second quarter, has 8 points, all of his points in the second. Jarius Turbiatis with 5 points. He's 1 of 2 on the line and 4 rebounds. He leads the team on the board so far. Jordan Caceres hit a tray for 3. Josiah Clay coming off the bench for all 3 of his points in the second quarter, went 1 of 2 from the line. And big man Parker Henderson, all 6'11" of him, he's got 2 points off of 1 bucket and his second leading rebounder with 3. So we got a total of 6 scores in the first half. Hobbs leading the rebounding, or actually trailing in the rebounding, I should say, 11-10. And again, I mentioned Turbiatis with 4 and Henderson with 3. Hobbs has 1 less turnover, 9 compared to 10 for the Centennial Hawks. Eagles on the free throw line so far are 5 of 8 from that charity stripe. And their biggest lead in the first half was 8 points. But what's more important on the scoreboard is the lead right now here at halftime. 39-32 as the Hobbs Eagles have a 7-point differential. About 2 minutes left before the second half of action. We'll come back and get you ready for the second half. More here at Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles and Centennial Hawks on the Hobbs Eagle Network back in 60. Hobbs Eagles lead by 7 as we head for the third quarter, 39-32 over the Centennial Hawks here at Tasker Arena. And Ron, of course, the Eagles do have the advantage in terms of the series, but there's been some close games in that series, though.
There has always been. But, 9 in a row is what the Hobbs Eagles won. Last time they lost was the only time. That was at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, and that was in the championship game. That was December 31st, 2014. That was when Kelsey Jones was on it, as well as Trey Nelson and a few others that were on here. So, yeah, it's been a long, long time since the Hawks have tasted victory here at Tasker.
Was that on New Year's night?
New Year's Eve, yes, it was.
Boy. Yeah, New Year's Eve, I meant. That's right. I didn't think we ever had a game on a holiday like that. Centennial basketball to start the second half. The Eagles up by 7 as they get the ball into the left corner of the front court to Schutte. Up top for a 3 on the way and right through the hole. Hobbs leaving him wide open for the J. That was Rewalt getting his first of the contest, number 6 for the Hawks on the trays. 39-35, Eagles by 4. Pena's going to take his time as he comes across the time stripe. He tried to dunk during the warm-ups during halftime. Almost got it over the front of the rim, too, right before we got going again. Pena with the spin move. Fadeaway J from the right block, high off the glass. Rebound on the near sideline transition. Dribbling behind his back is Rewalt, his fourth rebound. He goes to the rack on the lean on the right side of the block. Tries to throw up a shot, and it goes off the rim, but a foul call. A bump foul on the Eagles. And that's going to be charged to Braddock Beatty. That'll be his first team foul here in the second half. Nobody really in foul trouble at this point, although Turbiatas does have 2 for the Eagles.
Yeah, not very many foul calls, which is good on both sides. They've been keeping it clean.
Rewalt bounces the back of the rim, front of the rim, no good. He's 0 for 1 now, has 3 points. Hit a tray just seconds ago. They're now 3 of 5 from the line for 60% are the Hawks. This is their first game of the season. Number 5 for the Eagles. So Hobbs finally has an advantage in how many games under their belt compared to all those teams they played at the Gene Messer, averaging about 5 games apiece at that tournament, the teams they hooked up with. Second shot was up and good. And so now 4 for Rewalt. It's 39-36. A pass to half court, diving attempt for a steal that time. Sliding on his chest and gut on the floor was Ozias Aguilar near the scores table. The slip and slide action going on there, and probably got some burns out of that one. Long inbound to Beatty, right corner, fires up a 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound at the free throw line in transition. That's Martinez. He'll slow it down to the top of the circle. Eagles look like they have a 2-3 zone going on. Now a matchup zone. Handoff on the right side. 3 on the way. Fade away for Aguilar. Hard off the back of the rim. It's rebounded to the left block by Huntsman. He dribbles out to the corner and waits. Sends it back up top to Rewalt with a jab step. He hit a 3 just seconds ago. Drives the lane. Throws up a runner shot. Bounces around the rim. No good. Rebound on the right block. Turbiatas with great position. And his defender comes over his back and slams down on him. Huntsman will pick up his 3rd personal. And for Turbiatas, that's his 5th rebound and 14 against Brownsfield on the last game Saturday against that squad. And he looks like he wants more boards in this one.
Yeah, both sides are not showing any signs of slowing down.
So Centennial has their first foul of the second half. And Eagle basketball. 3-point shot of the way, top of the arc, in and out for Beatty. And it comes out on the hands of Rewalt, his 5th rebound. Throwing it back door, little windmill action, layup for Schulte, and he's got 8. 39-38, Hobbs by 1. It's getting closer as we go. Beatty with the ball on the near side, cross court right to Pena, still in the backcourt, returns to Beatty. Gets that 1-2-2 trap, the half-court trap. Pass is deflected as Beatty tries to throw it on the near left sideline in front of the Taskovich band. The ball gets knocked out, but they're going to call the hack foul on the Hawks. They'll charge that one to Martinez, his first, and the second team foul against Centennial.
Yeah, Beatty was double-teamed over there in front of the Taskovich band, was unable to get the ball out, but drew the foul instead.
Inbound to Payne in the backcourt. He'll take on his defender Aguilar through the timeline logo. Gets a double post screen up top of the arc. Doesn't use it much. Now slings through the lane. Reverse slam with his left hand. It rolls around the rim and good. Great job of going to the rack that time for Pena. He's got 20 to lead both teams. 41-38. He's 9 above his average. Going to the other end. Little scoop shot roll with Rewalt. Misses off the rim left side. Tipped back up with the front of the iron by Aguilar, but he's fouled going up. Ball comes off the iron. Hobbs fans thought it was a clean block. And they'll get the foul call on the Eagles. Charged to Raylan Vega. His first, second team foul. Hobbs student section is chanting something I probably don't want to be repeating right now.
No, they're just not happy with the call, and they're not going to let everybody know about it.
Free throw up and good for Aguilar. He's 2 of 3 now, has 6 points. And one more opportunity for him to try to get it down to a 1-point deficit for Centennial. 41-39.
5:42 remaining in the third.
Second shot coming off the shoulder, but good for Aguilar. He's got 7. 3 of those from the free throw line. 41-40, Hobbs by 1. Vega over to Beatty, far right, returns to Vega, back to Beatty on the yo-yo passing game. Sends it across to Acosta, right corner, a right wing with a double teamer. Back to half court, picked up by Abraham Pena. Shot from the free throw line off the dribble, bounces off the back of the rim. Rebound, Turbiatas, sky high, and puts it over the left rim for 2. Turbiatas getting big that time. He's got 7.6 rebounds. 43-40 Eagles by the tray. 5:15 left third. Hawks in the front court, right wing. Dribbling is Aguilar to the timeline. Gives it over to Schute. To the right wing himself on the dribble. Goes to the rack. He saw a big gap and he went home with it and lays it in. Eagles backed off in the paint. Double digits for Schute with 10. And now a bad inbound. Somebody stepped on the baseline. That will be a turnover. Hobbs has got 10 total now. Coach Martinez clapping loudly on that one. He was happy what he saw.
Yeah, that lane was so open you could have drove a truck through it.
Aguilar to inbound to the right baseline. Gets it in quickly to the left corner to Rewald with his pivot. Spins, comes down the left baseline. Double clutch on the block. They're going to say he shuffled his feet as he fell into Turbiatas. He's putting his arms up in the air, getting mad at the official. He better be careful on that one. That will be a Centennial turnover, number 11.
Yeah, when you saw the second bounce, you knew that could be and should be a travel. It certainly was. Good call.
Just under 5 minutes left third. Inbound to Pena near side. 1-2-2 trap for the Hawks. Over to the right side to Caceres. Returns to Pena far left. And again to Caceres in the front court. Dribbles to the right wing. Uses it up. Gives it off right corner. That's Javen Hernandez who just checked in. Goes baseline. A fade shot off the back of the rim near the iron that time. And it comes off quickly and then pulled down in transition for Centennial for Walton, his 4th board. Sends it left corner, 3 on the way. It rolls around the rim and good. On the tray for Rewald, his 2nd. He's got 8, or make it 7 points all in the 3rd. And the 7th three-pointer for Centennial. Hobbs only up by 1 now. Top of the arc for Pena. Down the lane. Tries to reverse on the right side. Off the glass. Count it with 2 hands and a foul. His body was good, upright in the air. Kept his balance, puts it off that glass, and he's going to get a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, called it in midair. He was already halfway through his shooting motion. Was able to get it in. That was very incredible, and he gets the 1. So, yeah, he is going to be loving this one.
The scoreboard has Aguilar down for 4. I only had him for 3, but we'll have to wait and see if that holds up. 3rd team foul against the Hawks, and Pena has a chance to make his point production go up to 23 with a made free throw. Has 22 now. We're tied at 45. Boy, this is a nail-biter here at Tasker, Ron.
It certainly is, and it's a lot closer than I expected. But you know what? We are having our first game of the season for the home game, and it is definitely not going to be boring.
A couple officials having a committee meeting here. Stop the action of the free throw. I'm not sure what they're going to talk about. Maybe the foul situation, because I was kind of wondering why that player Aguilar got the 4th foul.
Right.
And I didn't know. I don't think the officials would have been keeping track of individual fouls. That's not what their job is. But I didn't see Coach Martinez questioning it either. As I guess he just got his kid out, Aguilar. He knew he had 4, so he's off the court anyway. Pena has a kind of a fadeaway free throw, and he gets it to drop. So 23 for him. And he is now 4 of 5 from the charity stripe for 80%. And we got a timeout on the court, a minute timeout for Martinez, the head coach of the Centennial Hawks. 3:51 left, 3rd quarter. Hobbs holding on to a 1-point lead over Centennial, 46-45. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live at Task Arena, first home game of the season. Your Hobbs Eagles with a 1-point lead, 46-45 over Centennial, but 3:51 left in the 3rd. We got a whole other quarter on top of this one. I can expect this one to go to the wire unless the Hobbs Eagles can get some mojo going here and get that full court press, getting that ball away and laying it in as usual. It's going to be Hawks ball after the timeout. Spinning with the dribble is Martinez in the front court. Coming back to help out is Walton. Gets it over to the right wing with the bounce to Martinez, the other coach's son. And Turbiatas steps up with the passing lane and pulls it away on the left perimeter. Turnover number 12 for the Hawks. Into the front court to Caceres. Gets a double screen on the top of the arc. Unloads to the right wing. Driving baseline underneath the hoop is Pena. Flings it over to the left wing and a 3 on the way for Clay. As Clay nails a big shot for Trey. Clay with his first 3-pointer. He's got 6 points and the 7th 3-pointer for the Eagles. Big Bucket there to get the gap now to 4, 49-45. Eagles by 4. In the front court on the left wing, Walton to the corner. Keeps it left side with the pass to Martinez. Bounces down the right block. It's stolen away again by Turbiatis. 2 steals in a row, 13th Hawks turnover. Unloads to the far side to Pena. Strong dribble to the right wing. Crossover through his legs. Fade shot for the right baseline off the rim. No good. Rebound on the right block for the Hawks. That's Shote, his 3rd board. Outlet to the near sideline to Revolt. Down to the right corner, wide open. That's Jeremy Martinez. Hard shot at the back of the rim for the tray. It goes out of bounds. It'll be last touch by Martinez. His dad, the coach, says, hey, you got to move the ball around, son. You're the 2nd kid I have on the court here, not the 1st. So make sure that we have rebounders on top of that. He was not a happy camper after that shot. So Hobbs will get it back. And they have a 4-point lead with 2:41 left here in the 3rd, 49-45. And they'll try to beat the trap 1-2-2 full court trap for Centennial. Caceres has it far side, cross court left to Clay. He'll bring it across against double pressure to the left corner, front court baseline. Underhands pass back door to Jamin Hernandez coming over the right side of the rim with a push shot for 2. Hernandez with his first bucket, the sophomore. 6-point Eagle lead. At the other end, baseline right side, Martinez. Bad pass up top. Clay takes it away for the 14th Hawk turnover. Comes down the lane with a double clutch over the left rim, and he scores. Hobbs getting a run going here. That's 8 for Clay. And turnover number 15, and we got a timeout for Coach Martinez. The Hawks wing has been clipped by the Eagles. 2:12 left, 3rd quarter. 8-point Eagle lead, 53-45 over Centennial. Back at 30. (53-45) your Hobbs Eagles. A couple of turnovers. Turbiatis getting some steals on Las Cruces Centennial. And then we also saw Clay picking off a pass as the Hawks offense just going down the tubes.
Yeah, Turbiatis is basically just sitting there in the passing lane, being able to pick these off and be able to get Hobbs on the other side of the court to be able to get some relatively easy baskets and or maybe even some foul shots as well. So yeah, Turbiatis is definitely picking it up, being able to see where the ball is, being able to anticipate where the ball is going to be going to, and of course intercept it and get it back going the other way for the Hobbs Eagles.
I think the Hawks are just trying to get some outside shots to get open, and they keep going to the baseline and try to push it back up top of the perimeter, and it's very weak passing. Hawks will have it in the front court after the timeout. Pass over to left wing to Walton. Gives it up top to Huntsman, fakes a 3, kicks it back left wing again to Petermeyer. Shot from the left elbow, coming off no good. That was actually Rewind after a pass. He tried to rebound but lost the basketball and take it away to the other end. Caceres with a scoop shot right. He can't get it to drop, but there's a foul from behind, and he'll get a pair of free throws. And boy, Walton's getting close to a tech as he screams at the official, and it wasn't even him that got the foul call, excuse me, as he actually gets a foul against Petermeyer instead.
Yeah, it looked like that would have been a simple shot. If he could have hit the brakes, would have definitely gotten a nice little two-pointer there in the paint. But you know how it is. Sometimes you just want to get full force and get in there and try to see him get your shot.
Eagles are 6 of 9 from the line for 66%. Caceres off the back of the rim, though, misses that one. So now dropping to 60% as a team. Eagles with an 8-point lead, trying to make it 9 here. Would be the biggest of the game if Caceres can drop this second free throw. Shot is up, bounced around the rim, and good. So he's going to have 4 points now, 54-45. The biggest lead of the game is 9 for the Eagles here in the 3rd. Clock down to 1:42. In the front court with a zigzag dribble is Martinez. Back deep to Walton near the timeline. Guarded by Hernandez. Gets away from the screen. One-hand bounce pass in the lane. Taken away again. Yep, he's got a couple of steals in this half, and that's Clay. He tries to throw it up ahead. It gets knocked out of bounds by the Hawks, but Hobbs will have it underneath their hoop on the baseline. That's the 16th Centennial turnover on some very weak bounce passes and flings up to the top of the perimeter. Eagles just waiting on the prey there.
Yeah, the Hawks are just struggling to get any kind of rhythm going on right now in the 3rd.
Nick Pena to inbound, bounces it into the right corner. Hernandez now pivoting 360. Keeps it on the same right wing to Clay as he's guarded by Rewalt. Sings it back up top to Caceres, over to the left side to Pena. Fakes a 3, drives the left elbow off the dribble. and kick over to Clay on the right wing. Kind of a low pass, able to scoop it out of the hardwood. Dribbles to his legs, top of the arc to the free throw, fadeaway jumper, a little bit off balance that time, off the rim. And rebound on the left block, scoop pass for Martinez, his third rebound. Up ahead to a breaking Huntsman, Cradles coming down the right side of the pike, and they're gonna call the foul. David stepped over, Caceres as well, and looks like they call Clay from the backside. That'll be his second, and only the third team foul against the Eagles. Hawks will not get a shot out of that one. They will get the ball on the near sideline.
Clay tried to poke the ball out, instead got the player more than he did the ball.
Walton the inbound as Hernandez will try to mirror the pass. Gets it into Rewald at the timeline for the Hawks. Under 1 minute left in the third. Eagles by 9. Stays up top. Crossover move to the right baseline. Leads and shoots, and they're going to call extension foul. It looked like he kind of pushed his shot over the top of the Hobbs Eagle defender that time, but they call the foul on the home squad. As I believe that's going to go against, there's a couple of players in the area that time. Was it Clay possibly they got? Nope, correction. That is Pena. That is his second, and that's the 14th foul. One away from the double bonus here in the third. Left baseline inbound coming in from Walton. Having some trouble finding somebody open. Throws a high one into the right corner, but the official gets a 5-second count, which will count as a Hawks turnover, number 17.
And Hobbs loves doing that, being able to confound and confuse that offense.
Clay will get the inbound far right sideline, throws it across the Pena, alley-oop backdoor. David comes down with it, goes back up, double clutch. That hesitation move got a guy to come over his back and fouls him in the head, puts it off the glass right next to the hoop on the right side and scores in the foul.
And that is textbook how you're supposed to do it. Grab, go down a little bit, let your defender go over you like he usually does, and then just put it up and also get the foul as well.
That's the 15th foul, which would be double bonus for the Eagles. Huntsman has his third. And David gets in the scorebook, his first bucket, the freshman, just a ninth grader. God, he looks like a college player out there.
Yeah, and especially with that patience he had under the basket, that was definitely a grown-up kind of move.
Missed the free throw. We got a big skirmish inside the lane as, Clay comes out of a big pile of Hawks on top of him like red meat in a pile of birds there.
3 to be exact.
They get the jump ball, and the Eagles will get it back, so Clay really get in that mess of feathers and able to at least get it tied up, so the jump ball goes to them. Pena inbound left baseline with an 11-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Eagles. Looking for somebody to get open, bounces it right corner to Javen Hernandez, the sophomore. Hippity hop, throws up a shot. They're going to say he got hammered hard, actually held down low that time. Hopefully he got a shooting motion out of it. It won't matter anyway with a two-shot foul with the bonus in line here. So Hernandez will get a chance for 2. They get the foul call against Rewald, his second. And that will be the 15th foul against Centennial, as I mentioned. 2 shots for Hernandez, yet to shoot in this ball game from the line. Does have a bucket here in the third quarter.
And you were asking about the fact of what were Hobbs doing that they're not doing now, or what are they doing now that they weren't doing then? It's being aggressive. It's driving the lanes. It's trying to get that contact and making sure that you can get the follow-through for the foul shot. And here we are right now on the foul line once again.
Hernandez, the sophomore, makes the first. Second free throw's up and good. He's got 4 points now. It's 58-45, gets the biggest lead for the Eagles at 13 here in the third quarter, down to 38 seconds left. Coming across the timeline off the dribble, Rewald up top to a wide open Huntsman for 3 and slishes it right through the net. He's got 10 points, his second tray, the 8th three-pointer for Centennial. At the other end, David fires a 3 from the left corner off the hard back rim and pulled down for the Hawks by Martinez. Throws it ahead to the left corner. 3 on the way at the other side for Centennial, deep left corner as Peter Meyer trips it through his first tray and night for the team. 58-51, Hobbs by 7. Now it'll be a slowdown for Clay. 8 seconds left for a last shot here in the front court, right side of the perimeter. Down to 3. He's going to go hard to the free throw line. Down to 1. Backs up and throws up a shot at the buzzer and hits the front of the rim on the tray. No good. But the Hobbs Eagles get a 7-point lead as they head to the finale quarter, 58-51 over Centennial. We'll take a 60-second break and come back live with more Hobbs Eagle hoops on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the internet. 58-51, your Hobbs Eagles leading. They got 19 points in the third and 19 for the Hawks in the third, but it's still a 7-point Eagle lead. Right now, the 3-point count, 9 for Centennial and 7 for the Hobbs Eagles, but still they have the lead. Centennial basketball to start this third, make it the fourth quarter. Eagles leader in scoring, 23 for Pena, and for Centennial, it's 14 for Walton. Hawks are going to set up the pass down to the left block to Aguilar. Goes underneath the hoop, slings it down wide open. Schulte in the right corner for 3, and he nails it. He's got 13, and that's his first tray of the game. 10 3-pointers for the Hawks. A 4-point Eagle lead with 7:35 remaining in the game. Ball comes across the timeline to Vega left corner, posting up Turbiatis left block. Over to Pena right wing, drives the paint, reverse layup, a double clutch left side, rolls around the rim and good. He gets flat, no foul call, but he puts it over the rim for 2. He's got 25 to lead both teams. Going to the other end, falling to the floor, losing the ball is Aguilar. Late whistle from the official. Hope they don't call the foul on this one. Coach Martinez yells at the ref, and she said, hey, he just tripped on himself, fell down on the floor. Not going to get a foul out of that. That'll be the 18th turnover for Centennial. Hobbs with a 6-point lead. A 2-2-1 trap, full court. Pena's going to take the dribble himself. Gets bumped, no call. Aguilar defending him. Brings it across the timeline as Pena. Double team on the right wing, stripped. Able to tip it back to his teammate, and driving hard with the dribble, Beatty to the right wing. Kicks it down to Henderson in the right corner, the big 6'11" post. No look pass up top to Vega. Over the right side to Pena, fakes a 3, going up on his tiptoes, and backs it out to the timeline. To Vega, who fakes an NBA 3 left wing, to Henderson on the left elbow. Pivots, goes back door to Vega, but throws it right to the Hawks in the middle of the paint. Schulte will rip it away. Eagles 11th turnover, but only their first turnover in the second half. Coming across the timeline is Aguilar. Left wing, flicks it over to Walton. Up top of the bounce pass to Rewalt now on the right wing. Gets a screen from Huntsman. To the left elbow. Fadeaway shot from the free throw line, no good. Underneath the hoop is Henderson for his 4th rebound. Mays a bad pass to the left side of the court. It's stolen away. Shot on the way for Walton. He's got 16. Another steal as laying it off and in again is Walton after a steal by Aguilar. The Eagles with 2 quick turnovers. They have got 13 total, and Coach Reeves doesn't like what he sees because now the Hawks are down by 2. We're going to keep it right here, Ron. 60-58 Eagles get kind of sloppy and lackadaisical on the full court pressure as they're throwing balls away.
Yeah, definitely. Hobbs is needing to tighten up those passes. They were doing that earlier against this Hawks team, but now Hawks are coming back. They're just saying, hey, you know what? Anything you can do, I can do better, and I think they're doing it so far better. But, you know, the nice thing about it is it's early in this fourth quarter. Hobbs can still bounce back, so to speak, rebound, and be able to get back into this game. They're still up by 2, but they definitely need to watch the passes, make sure they're a little more crisp and clean, and definitely get those in so that way there's no more turnovers and no more problems with defensive struggles while the offense is on their end of the court.
So a bunch of buckets coming for Centennial in this fourth quarter. They've had 7-0 run going on at this point and getting very close to the Hobbs Eagle numbers. Hobbs actually 7-2. Eagles did get 1 bucket in this fourth quarter. That was Abraham Pena with 1. But other than that, Hobbs better get their full court pressure breaker ready to go because it looks like the Hawks are going to start trapping and keeping those parts of the floor covered on the passing game. 6:12 left here in the fourth. The Hobbs Eagles up by 2, 60-58, trying to break a 2-2 record at this point. First game of the season for the Hawks. Almost a steal at the half court from Beatty on a pass. They get it down low, and it is taken away from Turbiatis as the Hawks get the turnover from the Eagles. They're 14th of the game. In the hands now and slowing it up is Aguilar in the backcourt. He'll go up against Hernandez as he comes across. Deep bounce pass left wing to Walton. Walton unloads behind him on the left side to Schutte. Back deep up top to Walton. Hernandez gets a hand on the basketball, back it out to the timeline. Crossover move to the free throw line. Fadeaway jumper for Walton, left elbow off the front of the rim. Tipped up in the air by Pena. Ball loose as he comes down with it. Rips it back to himself. That's his second rebound, but a bad pass to half court. Going to the rack, high up the glass. The layup is good and a foul. Pena will get a piece of the man there and a chance for a 3-point play for the Hawks. That will be the bucket good for Schutte. That is his 15th point. That will be the Eagles' 15th turnover, and for Pena, he's just picked up his second foul and the first here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Hawks are anticipating where the ball's going to be, and they're definitely making some great plays as of late, being able to get not only the steal, but also a basket and possibly even a foul like they're doing right now.
Free throw for Schutte is up off the back of the rim, no good. A battle for the rebound underneath. That is Turbiatis coming down with it. And that will be his 7th rebound of the ball game. Outlet to the far side to Vega. Throws it across to Caceres, who just checked in, top of the arc. We're tied at 60. Bounce pass to Henderson, left corner. Or Hernandez, I should say. Gives it back to Clay in the left corner. Shot puts it up left wing. Vega with the hippity hop. A scoop, or making a double clutch on the left block. He goes up strong, comes out the front of the rim. We got a crash on the rebound. Hernandez hits the floor with Walton for the Hawks, and we have a jump ball, the arrow for the Eagles. So Hobbs will have it on the baseline, tied up at 60 with 5:23 remaining in the fourth. Eagles have yet to score in this fourth quarter. Or actually, 1 bucket, I should say.
Right.
And, of course, 9 for the Hawks.
So, yeah, 9-2 run. That is not good for Hobbs as they need to get back into the rhythm.
Vega inbound from the right baseline. Desperately trying to get somebody, and finally coming over to get his Clay in the left corner. He's going to dribble up on the left wing. Gives over to Vega, left side as well, on the perimeter, backs it out to the timeline. Slings it over to Caceres in front of the scores table right, gives it back to Vega, back to Clay in the left corner, 18-footer with a fade shot off the back of the rim, pulled down by Caceres, it goes up strong. The little guard going up over the big man that time and puts it off the right glass. Nice job for Caceres. He's got 6 points and 2 rebounds. Eagles by 2. At the other end, a man wide open off the pass. Rewalt left corner, actually Walton off the back of the rim. And we got Clay with a big rebound on the right block. He gets doubled up, and they get the piece of the basketball for the jump ball. And that will be an arrow for Centennial. So really didn't have the rebound clean by himself. He had a couple of guys on top of it, the Hawks. So a tie up immediately coming off the rebound there. 2-point Eagle lead with 4:51 remaining. Inbounding on the left baseline is Aguilar. Bad inbound. It's loose on the near sideline. Picked up for the Hawks, though, by Rewalt. Kicks it up top to Martinez with a jab step. Sends it back to the right wing. Wide open Aguilar for 3 and puts it through the hole. Aguilar has 10 points, his first tray in the game, the 11th three-pointer for Centennial, who leads by 1 for the first time in the second half. Clay with a stop and go, throws it across the top line. Caceres up top, backdoor to Hernandez, double clutch, misses out the back of the rim, loose in the paint, and picked up by Aguilar, his 3rd rebound. Dribbles down the left side of the lane, alley-oop backdoor, high shot on the big layup there, putting it through his Shote. 17 for him, and a 3-point Hawks lead in the front court. Bounce pass up top to Vega, comes down the lane with a scoop shot over the front of the rim, and he puts it through for 2. Vega has double digits now with 10. We got a track meet starting now. 65-64, Centennial by 1 with 4 minutes remaining in the fourth. Slowing it up now is Aguilar. Comes out against Caceres through the timeline. Tucks it, goes to the hoop, and he gets fouled as Caceres gets a swat on the ball, but comes down on the arm. Ball gets knocked out to the baseline, but a chance for 2 free throws here as Caceres has picked up his first second team foul against the Eagles.
Well, we knew this game was going to be close all the way from beginning to end, and it is definitely getting there as we have 3:49 left in this game, basically. And the Hawks, Eagles, still all out throttle.
3 for 4 for Aguilar. He misses his first one off the back of the rim. Remember, everything's 2-shot fouls this year. 10 points for Aguilar. Not going to get 1 extra added to that one as there's a brick off the iron. Trying to extend the lead to 2 here is Aguilar, 65-64. Second shot is up, and this one is good. He got 11 now. A 2-point Centennial lead, 3:49 remaining. Inbound to Clay in the backcourt. He'll take the dribble himself, going one-on-one against Rewalt. Into the front court with a crossover, triple team. Down the lane, kick left corner, Hernandez for 3. It swishes it through. I'm going to see if they're going to count this as 3 or not. Not sure about that. We'll check the number on this one for Hernandez. They're going to just give him 2. His foot was on the line. He's got 6, though. The sophomore stroking it through and tying it at 66. Crossover move in the front court, Aguilar, left elbow. Underhands it to the left wing to Walton. Walton's going to be guarded by Pena. Screen up top from Martinez. Slings over to the right side to Rewalt. Draws his baseline. Puts his head down and goes. They call the block foul. Almost a travel that time. And they're going to call that against Payton, who's got his mouth wide open at the official. Fans here for the Eagles are going to be booing the call on that one.
Yep, they are.
Payton is going to get his 3rd personal, 3rd team foul. They're going to call the shooting foul on that one, too. It looked like he just kind of pushed the ball ahead of himself. And they called the foul on Payton, but I'm kind of surprised they're calling this a shooting foul. No, they're overruling that now. They're going to call it on the baseline.
There was no shot being taken at that time. He was just trying to drive the lane. And, of course, he's asking, what can I do to stop this from happening? And apparently not much.
Aguilar will inbound from the left baseline. Tries to go backdoor, and Turbiatis there on the block to pull it away. That'll be the 19th Centennial turnover. Gives it off to Clay. Stop and go dribble as he takes on Aguilar in the front court on the right wing. Clock to 3:05. He gets stripped. And ball's loose as it rolls to the timeline. It goes out of bounds right at half court. It'll go back to the Eagles, luckily, as it was last touched by the Hawks at the timeline. Diving on the floor for it, Rewalt. And Hobbs will get a chance to try to get this lead here, tied up at 66. 3:02 remaining in the fourth. Inbound to the backcourt to Pena all by himself as they bring it across against Aguilar. Slowing it up for the Eagles, tied at 66. 3-0 foul count in favor of Centennial. Drives to the left wing for Turbiatis' screen, doesn't use it, backs it out to Pena in front of the Taskovich band. Crossover move, spins, they're gonna call a block foul on the Hawks. They're not liking the calls, they're throwing their arms up every time there's a call. This one against Walton, his second. That'll be the first team foul against Centennial here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that is amazing. So far it's a 3-1 count with Hobbs leading on the fouls, and you don't want to do that, especially if you, that means that, of course, 5 being in foul trouble, and giving them 2 chances at the line.
Keaton Petermeyer checks in because Aguilar has 4, and Coach Martinez would not like to lose him. He's got 11 points for the Hawks. Inbound to Payne at the timeline, gets a double screen, pass down to the right corner. Driving hard to the baseline is Clay. Crossover move, they call the block foul. Put his head down, a good little head fake action there. The defender bit on it and threw a hip into him, then fell backwards, so they get the foul call. That wasn't a shooting foul. They get that one against Rewalt, his second team foul against Centennial. Inbounding on the left baseline will be Nick Pena. Gets backdoor, fade shot from the left block, comes off the rim, no good. Picked up by Hernandez on the free throw line to get stripped. He goes flat on the floor on his stomach. They call the foul on the Hawks as Hernandez has picked up his first rebound. And they get the foul call against Centennial's. Looks like Rewalt. They got his 4th on that one, 3rd team foul.
Yeah, 2 in a row for Centennial. That evens it up at 3-3. Still have about 2.5 left in the game.
Penny on the left baseline, tied at 66. A high inbound to Turbiatis in the free throw line. Dribbles out of the pressure outside the perimeter, waiting for a handoff and gives it to Pena. Pena dribbles down the lane, puts his shoulder down, double clutch off the left glass and is fouled. Comes off the iron, no good, but a blocking foul against the Hawks. So another 2 shots for the Eagles to try to break this tie. And this foul going to go to Walton, his 3rd. 14th foul, 1 away from the double bonus, and Pena will step up to that charity stripe. So far in the game, he has got 4 of 5 free throw shooting for 80% and 25 points in the contest to lead both teams. And 2 free throws here, 66 all with 2:19 remaining here in the fourth. First shot for Pena is up, and it's in and out, no good. He'll get 1 more.
Another time when Hobbs just needs to settle down a little bit, be able to get those free throws in there, because we know at the end of this game it's going to matter on who gets the most free throws.
Aguilar returns with his 11 points, does have 4 fouls for the Hawks. 1 more shot here for Pena. Is up and good, a switch. He's got 26 now. A 1-point Eagle lead, 67-66 with 2:15 left in the fourth. In the backcourt is Aguilar going up against Clay through the timeline. He's taking his time off the dribble. Underhands it to the near side front court to Walton. Cross court left to Martinez to the left corner. Fade 3 and right through the threads after he made the tray. Rewalt turns and looks at the crowd. That's his 3rd tray of the game. He's got 10 points, and that's a total of 12 3-pointers for Centennial. They lead by 2. 69-67, 1:50 remaining. In the front court, Pena with the right wing 3, and he throws it through the hole. Big time tray shot for Pena. He's got now a total of 29 points, and that was his 4th tray of the ball game. Eagles by 1 with 1:35 remaining. In the front court, stop and go for Aguilar. Comes down the lane, misses the righty left. Rebound for Pena. Into the front court off the dribble, his 3rd rebound. He comes to the left block, a fade away from the baseline left side. They call the body foul. I don't think they're going to call that a shooting foul, but it's a double bonus regardless.
Right.
As they get the foul on the Hawks, as they charge that one to Martinez, his 2nd, Nate Martinez. 15 foul, double bonus for the Eagles, and Pena will go up to the line. He made his last free throw. He is 1 of 2 here in the fourth quarter and has 29 points.
Hawks, they had 2 of them, 2 defenders on Pena as he was trying to get to the basket, and like you said, just got bumped and fouled, and now it's going to be a timeout for, looks like Hobbs, as, it looks like there may be an injury as well.
Yeah, Pena's right leg is, I don't know when that affected him. It didn't look like it was on the free throw line, and Coach Ross, assistant coach Ross there, is trying to help him out. Hobbs with a 1-point lead, 70-69. Pena is down flat on his back now on the baseline during the timeout. Looks like he might have had a Charlie horse or some type of muscle issue as Coach Roska's got his leg up in the air at this point on his back. We'll take a quick break. Eagles by 1 over Centennial, 70-69. Back in half a minute on the Hobbs Eagle Network. After the timeout, Abraham Pena makes the free throw thanks to the Magic Fingers assistant coach Ross as he had his leg up in the air to help Pena. It looked like he must have had some type of a Charlie horse or something out there. Makes his first free throw. Second one is up and a swish as well. Nice stroke there for Pena, or yes, Abraham Pena, who now has 31 points in the game as he makes both free throws. 72-69 Eagles. Biggest lead in the fourth quarter is 3 with 1:17 remaining. In the front court, ball in the hands of Rewald on the right wing, drives the lane, windmill pass underneath. They're going to call the push foul from behind. Not a shooting foul, but they're getting close to the double bonus. That'll be the 4th on the Eagles. See if they call this one against in the paint that time. Looks like they'll charge that one to Jairus Turbiatis, his 3rd. Getting the 4th team foul on the Eagles. 1 away from the bonus. On the right baseline is Aguilar with his Hawks down by 3. One hands it to the left wing. It goes out of bounds. The Shute trying to reach for it. We're going to wait to see if they're going to call the touch. No touch for the Eagles. That will be a turnover on the inbound. Will be 20 turnovers now for the Hawks. Now, if it didn't touch anybody, they have to go back to the baseline. That's what the referee's doing right now.
Right.
And it will be Hobbs basketball as Peyton is still standing on the sideline on the right side, and the referee has to signal him back. And Coach Martinez getting in the face of the referee on the baseline.
Well, yeah, possessions are very critical at this point. That was an unforced turnover there. And, of course, Coach is just trying to get his way, getting back the ball, but that's not going to happen.
1:12 left in the game. Eagles by 3. The inbound is down on the floor. Coming up with it is Pena. They're going to call the jump ball. Not a good inbound that time. It was very low. Another injury. This time is for Centennial. Looks like they have a muscle issue here. Coach Martinez has one of his players by the left leg. He's flat on his back on the baseline. Kind of a similar situation to what we saw. Not funny, but Peyton at the other end, almost the exact same scene now as the leg is being lifted up in the air. He's on his back. Didn't get the chance to see who that was that went down, but we're trying to get the number as he's flat down on the floor.
Yeah, it definitely looks familiar as far as Hobbs Eagles. But, I wasn't quite sure at first if it was his ankle or not, but now it looks like he is stretching. So it could be just a temporarily out, and I'm sure that the Hawks want him back on as quickly as possible.
Coach Martinez yelling at the official, and now a technical foul as they're not going to take any more screaming by Martinez. He is arguing that earlier we had Pena down on the floor, but that was during a timeout, so I don't know what he's wanting to wait. He wants the game to wait for his player to get fixed with a leg injury, but you can't do that. If a kid goes down, you got to get your sub in and let's move on.
Right.
He gets a tech, though, and that will be 5 team fouls against Centennial. So Hobbs will get 2 free throws and the ball back at half court to extend on that 3-point lead.
And plus, it looks like the injury, it's going to take a lot longer than a couple of minutes to get him back on the court. He is limping right now. Looks like it may be an ankle injury. Now, you're right about that. The only reason why Pena was out there was because there was a timeout and they were given that extra time to get him back on the court. So not sure exactly what his point is as far as arguing other than, trying to pump up his team with the tech.
Boy, after the injury, Pena 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 4 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Second shot is up, and oh, it rolled around and came out. Got flushed out of the hole that time on the second free throw for Pena.
Yep.
But Pena with 32 points to lead both teams, his best scoring of the season so far. This is the 5th game for the Eagles. 73-69. Hobbs will get it after the tech at the half-court line. And inbounding for them will be Nick Pena. Send it back to Pena in the backcourt. Quick hand on the ball by Aguilar. That's a very dangerous foul. That's his 5th.
Yes,
or wait
it
a
is.
second. No, they called something against Pena where they say travel.
Wow, that was quick if it was, because it was like bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, they call it travel, I guess, on Pena. Shuffled his feet, so the Eagles pick up their 16th turnover. And boy, the official turned around to the crowd on the front row and said, you better watch what you're doing down here. Somebody was screaming at her from behind near the Taskovich band area. It wasn't a band member, but one of the fans on the front row. Yeah. 1:07 left, fourth quarter. Hobbs by 4, 73-69. Coming across the timeline is Aguilar. Throws him a 3, gets knocked backwards, and Pena ran right into him. And, of course, sprawling out on his back was Aguilar to make sure the ref saw it that time, as Pena has just picked up his 4th personal.
Yeah, and you never know exactly what's going to happen in a game. That's why they play these things. But, yeah, Aguilar on the line right now, not doing as great on it as I'm sure he would like to, but still giving the Hawks a chance with just over a minute in this game.
First free throw up and switch for Aguilar. He's 2 of 3 here in the fourth quarter. Both teams in the double bonus arrest of this fourth quarter. So 12 for Aguilar. He has 4 fouls, too, and he got very close to Pena on that last play. I thought they were going to call him for this 5th, but he didn't get the foul. Second shot is good, and that was a 3-point attempt, so he gets 1 more free throw after this. And the lead now is just 2, could be 1 after this last free throw. 73-71 Eagles by 2 with 1:01 remaining. Hobbs getting loud here at Tasker Arena. Third shot at the back of the rim, no good. Chased down, though, by Aguilar in the right corner, his 4th rebound. Dribbles in the lane, throws it up top for 3 for Walton, and swishes it. Walton hits a tray. He's got 21 points, and Centennial by 1. 74-73. Long pass to the other end. Turbiatis gets bumped with a hip. Tries to throw up a shot from the left block, and is fouled. He'll get 2 free throws, missed it over the rim. They'll call the foul on Rewald. I believe that's his 5th. Yes, it is. Rewald, I think, is just fouled out of the ball game. We'll have to wait and see. I hear a buzzer going off. Yep, that is 5 for Rewald. So he will exit the game, and he'll finish up. Oh, wait a second. Score this. Yeah, it is 5 on him. I'm just double checking the scoreboard there. They've got him down for 13. I've got him down for 10. So regardless, he is fouled out of the ball game. Hobbs will get 2 free throws for Turbiatis to try to get back the lead here. He's got to get both of them to get the lead, 1 to tie it up.
Right, and you definitely want to get both.
Jairus Turbiatis, 1 of 2 from the line, has yet to score in the fourth quarter, has 7 points overall. I believe that's how many he had against their last game at the Gene Messer tournament against Brownfield, and had 14 rebounds on top of that. First free throw, though, off the front of the rim, no good. He will get 1 more, though, to tie it up at 74. Big-time free throw here for Jairus Turbiatis. 46 seconds left here in the fourth, and a 1-point deficit for the Eagles pinning this free throw.
Exactly, which should be nothing but net.
Has 7 rebounds in this game to go with his 7 points. Hard off the back of the rim. Chased down by Centennial on the left wing by Petermeyer. He give it off to the guard, and that is Aguilar. He's going to go one-on-one against Clay. One-hand bounce pass in the front court, near side to Walton, and Coach Martinez calls a timeout. 35.7 seconds remaining. Centennial leads the Eagles 74-73. They will have the basketball in their front court. Let's thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Hoops throughout the season, Ron.
Yes, indeed. We'd like to thank Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Health Care, NMR Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thanks again for all the wonderful support.
Both teams have 1 timeout apiece remaining in this ball game. 74-73 Centennial in the front court. They'll have the ball back. So a very critical game here. Both teams are kind of pushing it to the wire. And of course, Centennial, this is their first game of the season, number 5 for the Hobbs Eagles after 4 strong games that they had to play down there at the Gene Messer tournament in Wolford, Texas, including Friendship, who went to the championship game. So they've been tested in those games. And now they're getting tested by a team from southwest New Mexico, taking on a team from the southeast here at Tasker.
Exactly, and it would be a great feather for Centennial. Not only would they break the 9-game losing streak against Hobbs, but they'd also start their season off strong. Last year, they didn't have a great season. They were under 500, but still, they would start off great if they could beat Hobbs. Hobbs, on the other hand, if they do win this game, it will continue the streak of 10 in a row against this Centennial Hawks team.
Of course, last year the Eagles went down to Centennial and won by 5, 72-67. That was a close game as well. Ready for the inbound on the near sideline, front court for Walton. He's going to bounce it back deep in the backcourt to Aguilar. Coming out to chase him is Pena in the backcourt, give him some pressure with 30 seconds. Comes into the front side, pushes off on Pena, an offensive foul. Pena gets an Academy Award to make it look a lot worse than it was, but the shoulder went down, and the best part is Aguilar is fouled out of the game. That is number 5 on him, thanks to Pena. Aguilar is going to finish the game with 13 points in the contest, and he's got a big grin on his face, but kind of sarcastic because he knows he's having to leave the game.
Yeah, he played the best he could, he feels, and that's all you can ask for in a player.
That was an offensive foul, so the Eagles won't get any bonus free throws here. Vega's going to return for Nick Pena on the court as a sub, and it looks like a timeout.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I believe that's going to go against Centennial. The Coach Martinez, the way they're pointing towards Hobbs, a 30-second timeout. They only had, they said 1 timeout left for each team. That is the last one for Hobbs. So they burned their last 32nd, and they will have no more in this ball game. 74-73. Of course, they're setting up their offense here. As the team is in the huddle right now, we're going to keep it right here at Tasker Arena. Don't forget, coming up at the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we will be at the Santa Fe tournament for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, and that will be on our sister station, the Eagle 100.5. I think the first game was, 2:15, I believe, on Thursday.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, and against Grants. It should be pretty cool. Yeah, it is a nice little tournament they're going to be going into. Like you said, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Definitely something that the Hobbs Lady Eagles are going to enjoy.
So make your plans to be up with that game. It'll be on the internet, also on internet with video, and on the radio at 100.5, the Eagle, our sister station. Hobbs Lady Eagles action, undefeated so far, at least against New Mexico teams. I definitely want to add on to that at the Santa Fe tournament. Centennial Hawks are showing a 2-1-2 zone, kind of shifting around in the paint right now, as they trail, or they lead the Eagles 74-73. 25 seconds remaining. Payne to bring it across for Hobbs to try to get the lead here. He'll keep it out near the timeline. Big gap with his defender, too. He's not coming out on him yet. And that is Renteria. He'll throw up a 3 to Vega off the left side. He'll fit it off the glass and score it. Vega got the pass and drills it home. It's 76-74. At the other end, a fumble with the basketball out of bounds off the foot of Martinez. Vega was the man, the sophomore, that gets the 3. His 3rd of the ball game, has 13 points off the glass left side, to 76-74 lead. The inbound coming in the lane, and they'll get the fouls. The Eagles get it in. That's Josiah Clay, and a foul going to make him go to the line for 2.
Wow, you saw that kid going up to the lane. You saw it was getting a little contested, but right before he dropped the ball, it looked like he was actually going to get a clean shot on that one. Instead, it hit his foot, went out of bounds as he tried to go after it. And yeah, it went from something from an imagination as far as you wanting to get that last shot to, no, the ball didn't want to do what you wanted to do, so it went out of bounds, and you just lost the ball and possibly the game as well.
21 turnovers for Centennial. Now Josiah Clay trying to get this thing in the W column with a couple of free throws. It's a 2-point lead, but he misses off the front of the rim. No good. He'll get one more, though, to try to extend it to a 3-point lead. And there's a lot of 3-point shooters on Centennial, so you got to get defending on him quickly.
Exactly, because there's at least 2 points we just missed from the free throw line that would have made a big difference in this game.
Clay 1 for 3, makes his second free throw, has 9 points. It's a 3-point lead with 5 seconds, 77-74. Coming across the timeline, a 3-shot, the buzzer is off the back of the rim. No good for Walton, and that will be the ball game. He had an open shot for Trey. Hobbs Eagles get the win. It was a close one, though, 77-74 over Centennial. Hobbs now 3-2 on the season. The first game for Centennial as they drop to 0-1. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show, live on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet. Back live here at Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious tonight. A close one, though, 77-74 over Centennial. Your Eagles going to 3-2 on the season as the Hawks dropped their first game 0-1. And Ron, I mean, there were some times in this game that the Eagle fans kind of quiet early in this game. 11-point deficit for Hobbs. They've had some, their highest lead was 9, I believe, for this game, but came back, got the second half going pretty tough there. But at the end, though, they were outscored in the fourth quarter, 23-19. So Centennial getting themselves in it. They were up late in the game.
Right.
Hobbs gets a big shot from Vega on the left wing after a quick touch pass and able to bank it off the left side, and definitely gets the Eagles that extra padding that they needed. And a lot of free throw opportunities tonight as well for the Eagles, 14 of 24 for 58%. So that did help their cause, those 14 points. And again, this was a nip and tuck game through much of it.
Yeah, there was a few free throw shots that could have, would have been great if they would have made it that way. It would have been nearly as close. However, you got to get your hat and take it off for Centennial. They came in to play. They weren't messing around. They knew the history about these two teams. They knew they had to come in, and they wanted to get their season started on the right foot as well as a victory. They came pretty darn close. In fact, if it wasn't for that one fumble, I believe, they would have. It could have possibly even gone into overtime at this rate because, Hobbs was missing their free throws and Centennial was coming down the lane. They were being able to get some either drawing the fouls or being able to get those shots to drop in. So it was very, very close. It just really came down to a little bit of a fumble towards the end of the game that the Hawks did. And, again, you got to say this, that the Hawks came out to play. They had a couple of players that fouled out, and they were going to be bringing it, and they certainly did.
Ron, I'll just give you a real heads up. You better get your flashlight on, your phone on right now. You know how they turn the lights off on us usually, so just give you a quick.
Right.
I just did mine just now in case the numbers get shaded over here with the lights going out. So Hobbs gets the 3-point win. A lot of guys stepping up. We'll talk first about Centennial, though. They finished with 15 for Makai Shute. Definitely doing some good job of shooting the tray. He did get 1 in the game for that. Brady Rewalt finished with 10 points. He had 3 trays in the contest. Ben Walton was the leader in the 3-point shot. He had 5 trays for 21 points. You can see the trend here, Ron. Isaias Aguilar with 13 points. He had a tray to his name as well. Was also 6 of 9 from the charity stripe. Trayson Huntsman finished up with 2 trays and 10 points. So it seems like, 5-6 guys, 1 or more trays in this ball game.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate trends that has been going on for like the last 7 to 10 years where you watch the WNBA, sometimes even the college teams do the same thing. They rely on those 3-point shots. Yeah, they're great to see when you see them. They're phenomenal, and even better when they get fouled and you get those 4-point possibilities. But still, I'm kind of old school. I like to see them drive the lane. I like to see them get those rebounds and get them back in again under the basket. That's just me, and especially with those 3-pointers when they miss, and they do a lot because you only get about a 33% chance of getting one in. So I also like to see those rebounds, clean up the glass, get it back in there, plus get the one. So it's more, to me, it's more fun to watch that instead of just seeing people launching threes. I get it, it gets you back in the game if you're down, but it can also get you further out of the game if you keep missing them. So, Centennial relying on those threes, didn't quite make it, even shot a 3 at the end of there. Got close, but didn't even hit the rim as far as getting inside. It wasn't contested or anything. So, it's one of those situations where Centennial had some good 3-point shots throughout the whole game, but towards the end they could not make them fall to get back into this game, and that's kind of one of their downfalls.
Well, yeah, they actually outscored the Eagles from the 3-point range with 12 total. Hobbs got 9, but, of course, the big one from Vega got the win, and that's exactly what you want to see. Other numbers for Las Cruces Centennial in this game, including 9 of 14 free throw shooting for 64%. They did get the rebounding advantage, 22-20 against the Eagles in this one. So there was a lot of good numbers for them. Also, Keaton Petermeyer hit a tray for him, too, so that was his only bucket of the ball game. They had a total of 6 players scoring in the contest. Had 21 turnovers. You mentioned that fumble coming down the lane at the last bit off the foot. That was a killer. Those points have definitely been needed by them. And they did get the advantage in that fourth quarter, 23-19 in terms of scoring, even though in a losing cause. Looking at the Hobbs Eagles on the other side of the coin, a big night for Abraham Pena. Best production for him offensively. He had 32 points in this contest. Also converted on 4 3-pointers in the game. Was 8 of 11 from the charity stripe. Went down hurt in the fourth quarter. sure, but they got him out during a timeout. Coach Ross doing the magical fingers on his leg there. I'm sure it was just a muscle pull or something, but he came back and made a couple of free throws after that and then had another trip to the line even in that fourth quarter. So definitely putting the team on his shoulders at points in time, but 32 points for him tonight. And, again, he led the team with 11 points a game coming into this contest. His numbers are going to jump big after this one.
Yeah, and now we've learned that Ronald Ross is a bit of a healer as well. So, yeah, so not only is he assistant head coach, now a head coach, but he's also, the team guy to go to if you're hurt. Go to Ross. He's got the magic touch, and he can be able to get you back on the court. And he definitely, whatever he did over there with behind the team, it definitely worked. And I'm sure that more players are going to go back going, I don't know how you did it, but, when I need that help, I'm definitely going to look for you. For the coach to help me out.
Even Coach Martinez was copying him at the other end. They had an injury, almost same exact situation. He had his leg up in the air, back on his back on the hardwood, lifting the leg up and trying to get that muscle to come on extended there. Other scoring for the Hobbs Eagles, besides the 32 from Pena, who did have 3 rebounds, I should mention. Braylon Vega hit that critical 3-shot there at the end, 13 points for him. That was his 3rd tray of the ball game, so a big one for him. So 2 players in double figures, a third almost getting there. Josiah Clay coming off the bench for 9 in this one. He was 2 of 4 from the charity stripe. He hit a tray as well, and he's just a sophomore, so a couple more seasons for Josiah Clay. It was Jordan Caceres coming off the bench, getting some good time at the guard position, hit a tray in the early part of the game for him. He had 6 points overall for the Eagles, was 1 of 2 from the line. Javen Hernandez, a sophomore coming off the bench, he had 6 points, 2 for 2 from the line too. Definitely gets a nice size is there, 6'2" and a sophomore. Jairus Turbiatas, 7 points like he had against Brownfield the other night. He had 7 rebounds to his name as well, was 1 of 4 from the charity stripe. Malachi David, he was 0 for 1 on the line, had 2 points with a bucket. And Parker Henderson seeing his first action this season in Game 5. He had a bucket for 2 points and 4 rebounds. And let me see if there's anybody I missed on here. It looks like that's it for the Eagles. They had 8 scores in this ball game. They went 14 of 24 from the free throw line, finished with 16 turnovers, unfortunately, which was less, though, than Centennial with their 21. So that definitely 5 less than what their opponent had. But again, 9 3-pointers in the ball game. That was a big number for the Hobbs Eagles to keep in this contest to get the win. We're just 2 shy on the rebounds tonight, 22-20. So Centennial did win that stat. But hey, you do what you need to do to get the win.
Right.
Didn't have as many 3-pointers tonight than what Centennial had, but they had more points on the scoreboard, 77-74.
Exactly, and you definitely want to have what the coaches were talking about at the beginning of the season was this, that they wanted to see more of a team effort and not just a superstar or two coming out there and being able to do whatever they wanted to. Because, we've already found out that if you have a superstar and they get stopped, there's nobody else to answer for it. So the coaches, they want the team to be a team, be able to do what they need to do, whether it be rebounds, scoring, or whatever. They need to have even the free throws, all that above. They need to add them all up, be able to win as a team, because you win as a team, you lose as a team. And speaking of which, earlier before this game, we had the JV playing. It was a tight one in the third one, but Hobbs pulls it out in the fourth. The final was 72-59. Hobbs Eagles JV beating the JV Hawks. And that was an exciting game at the end once the Hobbs Eagles were able to get back into it and get the rhythm.
Well, the next game for the Eagles won't be for another week. They will be on the road at Lubbock, so they've had a little bit of time in the Lone Star State, and they were outside of Lubbock just last week at Wolford, but they're playing Trinity Christian, a private school out of Texas, of course, who currently sits at 11-4. Definitely a real tough team. They've been, the private school, they can get a little recruiting and stuff, scouting going on to get the guys that they want. With some, a lot of their games are against some private schools, but they did play Odessa back on November 14th, beat them bad by 29 points, 83-54. I don't want to read their whole list because some of these teams are different schools around Texas that we're not as much affiliated with. But Midland Lee, they beat final score there 61-48, so they get a 13-point win there. Permian, they beat by 23, 68-45. So some teams that were more close to here on the west side of the state. And they were going to play Canyon tonight. Don't have a final score on that one. Of course, Canyon got the Eagles by double digits at that Gene Messner tournament this past week.
Yeah, and they were playing high and low. You never knew exactly which team you were going to get for Canyon. But, it's one of those situations where this Lubbock Trinity team is definitely going to be difficult to beat. If Hobbs wants to continue being above 500, they're going to go in there and play strong and play fast.
And, of course, the Hobbs Eagles have taken them on in the past. Of course, they play in these little smaller gyms. I think they took over, wasn't a mall plaza, and they took over the mall, changed that into a school, and then have the gym out there in the parking lot, though. But they get a good fan base, and this team really goes down to the wire in terms of the playoffs in the postseason.
Yeah, they do, and it was one of those situations when we first went down there. It was difficult to find the team and the gym, but once we did, we realized that this is not a team to sleep on, definitely. And if you, it's just like with friendship. If you give them a few minutes, a few possessions, they're going to run away with it, definitely.
I thought we played them last year. I guess we didn't. Was that the year before?
I thought it was last year, but maybe it was the year before.
Yeah.
It's hard to, sometimes time just kind of slips by or just kind of molds together, and you never. Like I said, I thought it was last year too. So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't see them on the schedule here from last year's final results there, but still, Trinity Christian, a force to be reckoned with, and they had a 29-7 record last year, and they were first in the 4A district they were in. So they're a very tough team, 11-4 this year. Again, that will be next Tuesday for that game. That will be, I believe, a 7 o'clock start. That's going to be, of course, I think for us it's going to be around 6 o'clock. With the
well, it'll be 6 o'clock over there. I think 5 o'clock for us.
Oh, they starting early?
I think
sure
so.
about that?
Well, you know how it is with those. It says 6 o'clock, but I never can remember if it's local time or if it's Texas time. But it seemed like, well, yeah,
let me
maybe it is 6 o'clock here and 7 o'clock there. So either way, I know.
I had myself on that last tournament that we played, converting back and forth. It does say 7 o'clock on Max Preps, which should be 6 o'clock our time because they put the Texas time on there.
Right,
so
right.
Plan on being a 5:45 pregame show regardless, and we'll get that all straightened out to make sure we get that game on the air for you. So, again, the Eagles get the big win tonight to go to 3-2 on the season, 77-74 over the Centennial Hawks. Definitely a good +1 in the win-loss column for the Eagles. Don't forget, coming up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we will have the coverage of the Hobbs Lady Eagles trip to the Santa Fe tournament up there in the state capitol. 2 o'clock pregame show on Thursday, and then they'll have a couple of games after that. Again, they definitely would like to be another champion. Last year, of course, they won the Albuquerque Metro tournament, so that was a pretty exciting win there at Albuquerque High in the Duke City. I'd like to thank our sponsors for all the games that we're going to be bringing on the radio and the internet for you. Go ahead, Ron.
Exactly. That's Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Always, always, thank you so very much.
Thanks to Evie Stuber back at the station. Also, Jessica and Allison Friend on the scoreboard tonight. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, the Hobbs Eagles victorious here at Task Arena as they're starting to turn off the lights here at the home court. Again, we won't be back on until next Tuesday, 5:45 pregame show in Lubbock. Come out and support your Hobbs Eagles or listen on the radio or the internet. Have a great rest of a Tuesday night out there.